Always thankful for the opportunity to visit with the head coach of the Lions opponents each week. And this week, that's Wade White's head coach of the Lake Country Christian Eagles in Fort Worth. Coach, thank you for taking some time to visit with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Well, let's start with your family. Tell us about your wife, Kelly, and your 3 kids, and anybody else we need to know about.
Sure. Been married 25 years. Kelly is also an educator. She works at Parkview Elementary here in Eagle Mountain, Saginaw. And she teaches second grade. So she's been at it a while, and I think she's looking forward to retirement at some point in time. But anyway, she's a great teacher. She's awesome. I've got a daughter who actually just graduated nursing school and is a nurse in Round Rock, is a surgical trauma nurse.
Okay.
So she's fired up and excited to be in her career and all that stuff. And then my son, or my middle son, is a senior at Texas Tech, getting ready to graduate in May. So we're excited about that. And he's actually in your field, so he's excited about sports media and those things. So he's ready to get that going. He worked for the Texas Rangers the last 2 years and actually got a World Series ring, which is pretty cool.
Hey, man, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And he played for me here as well as played at Austin P before transferring to Texas Tech.
Okay.
And then my other son is my youngest is a junior for us here at Lake Country, and he's a great kid and does a super job. So I'm pretty blessed for sure.
Well, sounds like an amazing family, and thankful for you and your wife that have impacted the lives of so many kids. We'll talk about that here a little bit later, but I will say normally I'm pretty good about snooping and creeping on people's social media or LinkedIn accounts to find out about them before I interview them. But you've done a good job of being someone incognito.
Yeah.
Now, I do know that you hail from a legacy of coaching and teaching, and your late father, whom you lost earlier this year, was a coach, an educator, and a mentor for 57 years, which is incredible. I'm so sorry for your loss, but talk about your dad, if you would, and the impact that he's had on your life and the lives of so many others over a 5-decade career.
Absolutely. It's awesome. My earliest memories are from a locker room or on a sideline or standing on the sideline in two-a-days, when it's super hot. So it's like I've had a whole lot of two-a-days in my life because I guess that was an easy way to babysit, maybe. I don't know. But, just seeing the impact that my dad made on so many guys. My mom would host spaghetti parties. My dad was the longest tenured head baseball coach at Burleson High School. He's in the Burleson High School Hall of Fame. I was football coach there forever, coached there for 35 years. And which is pretty awesome, and just to see the impact that he made on so many people, really just stirred something in me, because coaching's much more than just winning and losing and stuff. It's about the impact that you make on kids for generations. And, that's why I got into it. I was like any other athlete. I mean, I thought, man, I'm going to go play high school ball, play college ball, and I'm going to the pros, baby. And for some, maybe we didn't have a full length mirror or something. I didn't look in the mirror and realize I was 5 foot nothing and weighed 100 nothing pounds. But anyway, got into coaching. Actually, I played 4 years at Tarleton State University and then GA'd there as well, and loved it. It was just something I fell in love with, and that was awesome. So I coached there, and then did my student teaching at Burleson, actually, which was pretty awesome to kind of go back home there. And then my first real job where I got paid, money, was at HEB, Hurst Junior High first, and then LD Bell after that. And love those guys, Tim Edwards and Jack Gibson and all those guys back in the day, really helped shape me as well. So, but the impact that my dad made on kids and relationships that you build, that, what we're doing as educators and coaches is, we're building lifetime relationships. It's not what, just while we're here with you at this little small window of opportunity. It's really, my Super Bowl, my state championships, or when kids call and say, hey, coach, I'm graduating, or hey, coach, I'm getting married, or I'm having my first kid, or, those things like that, to hear back from those kids and to know that hopefully you're making a big difference. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Wow, man, that's got to be incredibly rewarding to get those type of phone calls. You talked a little bit about your coaching journey, but
yes,
what I think was amazing is that your dad actually was one of your assistant coaches there at Lake
Yeah.
Country. And I don't know
Yeah.
that of many coaches that ever get a chance to coach alongside their dad. That had to be an incredible experience.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, my dad coached at Burleson for 35 years. He had multiple opportunities to leave and to go to different places. But he was just loyal to Burleson and loved Burleson. When I became the head coach and athletic director at Southwest Christian back in 2000, I reached out to my dad because who better could I ask to come and run the offense that I want to run than my dad? And I reached out to him, and I really not even thinking that he would leave because it's so many opportunities to leave before, and he didn't. But I asked him to, would you please come? Let's coach together. And so in 2000, we got to start coaching together. And honestly, we spent, all the way to 2023 till he passed away in March on the sidelines together. So I coached with him there from 2000 to 2007. And then in 2007, I went to Dordt College and coached there for a couple of years. We started the program there as a defensive coordinator there. And then when I came back to Lake Country, here's the funny thing. My dad stayed at Southwest Christian all the way until he passed away. He was still working there. But when I got to Southwest or to Lake Country after the first year, I again reached out to him and said, "Hey, man, we need to get back together because I miss you on the sideline." So we got back together and we got to spend, a lot of time together on the sideline. And, it's quality time that I cherish.
Oh.
I wouldn't trade anything in the world for that. I loved coaching college, but honestly, getting to be back on the sideline with my dad was pretty rewarding. And the cool thing is we've got to go to several state championships together, and just had some success and had some fun. And man, he continued to be fiery. I mean, he was 84 years old coaching, and you couldn't tell when the dude's jumping 6-foot fence, getting after it. He forgot his whistle one day to practice, and he's like, "I gotta have my whistle." I was like, "It's okay. One day without your whistle, you'll be all right." He took off and hopped over the fence and took off running down to the car. I was like, "Good grief!"
Unbelievable.
But
Wow.
he was a great man. I mean, he really was. The impact that he made on so many generations. Just to look up, he started coaching at Burleson High School in 1969, the year I was born. And I just aged myself. But anyway, yeah, it's fine. But it's just the things that he had done all through those years, and just to see even at his funeral, the generations of people that were there, just saying the impact that he had on their lives and their families was just overwhelming. So.
Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because I know you've had that same impact. And Coach, I know your faith is very important to you. Would you mind sharing with us about your faith journey?
No, absolutely. Yeah, the cool thing about it is I was involved heavily with FCA at LD Bell. We had one of the biggest FCA programs in the state, and this is how I got into Christian education, and it's really what helped shape what my spiritual walk is. I prayed, and this sounds weird, to get closer to God and to do the things necessary to continue to get closer to God. And I promise you, the next day I got a phone call from a guy named Brent Barker that was at Southwest Christian. I had never even heard of Southwest Christian or TAPS football or anything else. And, I thought I was this big wig at, making my journey up because I wasn't married, didn't have any kids. I could be the first one to the field house and the last one to leave. And all of a sudden, I get this call and this calling, and I don't believe in accidents. I believe God lays your path out for you, and you have to be smart enough to step through the door and go and trust that that's what God has in store for you. So, that's how I got into Christian education. And honestly, I've been in Christian education ever since. Even Dordt College is a Christian college. And it means the world to me. It really does. It shapes everything that we are. Leaning on God's understanding on everything that we do really allows us to be who he intends us to be. And it allows us to be successful, allows us to deal with adversity and the different things like that. So, I feel like my job is to help shape our young men's lives, to help shape their Christian walk. But the most important thing that I try to allow them to understand is it's their walk. It's not my walk. And we just try to be good examples in that and try to lead them to Christ and to be able to understand that that's who they need to lean on when times are good and when times are bad. So.
That's awesome. Well, that'll serve them the rest of their lives, right? So I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, I
Thank
want to shift gears a little bit here to
Sure.
the football side of things.
Good.
You guys share a same record as Grapevine Faith, 1-3 in non-district play
Yep.
after last Friday night's loss to New Boston. I'm not sorry, I don't mean to pick
That's
an ill
okay.
wound here, but I don't see it. You don't see a lot of TAP schools playing public schools in
Yes,
non-district
sir.
play, but you guys have had 2 games against public schools. I'm just
Yes,
curious, has
sir.
that helped you guys get better prepared for district play, and what have you learned about your team in these first 4 games?
Well, we play a tough schedule, so we can get prepared for district. Because honestly, the whole deal is we're trying to win a district championship. We're trying to advance in the playoffs and get as deep as we can get. And stacking wins on teams that you're supposed to beat is honestly not something that I feel like is going to make you any better.
Yeah.
So iron sharpens iron. I strongly feel that that's a true statement. We've had a tough road at it. I mean, we opened up with Munster High School, who I think currently, and they may be ranked higher now, but currently ranked third in the state in their division. Good football team, very physical, and it showed. But it allowed us to play at the speed of the game. Is very, very fast paced. And New Boston also, though their record wasn't great, they're right on the cusp of being successful. Very athletic, very fast, very big. It was a great contest for us as well. And then we also played Fort Worth Christian, who currently is undefeated and doing a great job. Brady Gunn over there is doing a super job. I actually hired him at Southwest Christian and got him into coaching.
Oh, wow.
I knew him when he played for Stephenville High School, before he went to the Naval Academy and those things. And actually he was getting into ministry and all those things. I said, that is great. I got an idea. You can do both. And got him into coaching, and he's a great young man and doing a super job over there as well. But the thing that you do is you try to build a schedule, and I think Grapevine Faith's done the same thing. They've had some challenging teams that they've played, because it's going to make you better in the long run. Again, I've never been one to sit here and pat myself on the back and look, I got 10 wins here and 10 wins there or whatever. It's always about striving and trying to be better and prepare yourself for really what you're trying to accomplish. And again, I'm not going to apologize by saying that we're striving to win a state championship. That's what we want to do. And I understand people look at our schedule and go, oh yeah, they're not that good, or this, that, and the other. He does it. He does a great job. But he also, I mean, competing wise, he's a very competitive guy. He wants to get after it. He loves football. He lives it. And the thing is, it just exudes from him. I mean, that's the cool thing about it. I mean, it really is. And game time comes and he's serious, got a serious face, and he's getting after it. But the funny thing is he can lighten the moment like in an instant, and you're like, where did that come from? So it's actually pretty good. I mean, he does a good job of doing the things necessary to be successful, and he's willing to do anything. It doesn't really matter. If I said, hey, Everett, I need you to play guard this week, he'd be like, yeah, I'm in, let's go. And that's what you need for
yeah, that's who you want on your team, right? That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Well, defensively, who's really stood out to you this season? You mentioned Everett at the inside linebacker position. Who else on that defense has really stepped up for you?
Yeah, Everett's done a great job. Our defensive line has done a super job. They're getting after it and getting better every week. We've been rotating a lot of guys and getting a lot of guys playing time and trying to keep guys fresh. But we've had a young man, Cage Barrett, does a great job for us at defensive end. He's actually played some tackle in the past for us too. We kind of bounce around a little bit because we don't like them to be able to lock in exactly where we're at. He's done a super job. And then also on the defensive side, Landon Perry, which is our other linebacker, has done a good job. He's a new starter this year, been here forever since pre-K, but he is really starting to grow as an athlete and grow as a player. Again, student of the game. Really takes it serious. He's a young man that every practice, it doesn't matter what happens, he's got to come over and shake my hand and say, thank you, coach. And I'm like, if it doesn't happen, I'm like, where's Landon at? Is he okay?
Right.
But anyway, just a super guy. And then Ryan Whites is also our free safety and does a good job, and has had several interceptions, and patrols the secondary pretty well and does a good job there. So we've had a lot of guys step up and do a good job. We call it the no glory bunch. You know, they've got to do their job. It's not about you going and beating your chest and look at me. It's you know, as long as you do your job and everybody else does their job, it ends up being a pretty good defensive unit.
Well, it's your last non-district game of the season this week. You face a Grapevine Faith team this Friday night. It's coming off their first one of the season, as I mentioned, against Atlas. Austin Cosby's thrown for over 1,200 yards this season. You're obviously familiar with his favorite target, and Noah Smith.
Yes,
Jace
sir.
Walker stepped up the Lions rushing game. Now, Coach, I'm not asking you to give away your game plan, I promise. But what do you think are some of the keys to slowing down or trying to stop the Lions offense this week?
Well, we've got to react quickly to what's going on, formations and things like that, and get lined up to where we can run the things that we're running. You know, if you line up just straight coverage, the quarterback does a super job of reading that and throwing out of coverage. So disguising coverages and doing things like that is something that's key. And also being able to apply pressure from different angles and different things like that. So, you know, getting set up and being prepared, and then also just being aware that you know, they've got great receivers. A running back runs the ball hard. The quarterback, he has a very good grasp on the offense and is doing a super job. I mean, they're really doing a good job, and you can really see the improvement, you know, each week and what they're doing. So coach is doing an awesome job over there. It really looks like they're bought into what's going on. So, you know, I really see them just getting better and better throughout the year. You know, I hope they're not like spectacular this week. I'm going to be honest.
Hold off on that improvement this week, right?
Yeah. Take a step back this week, but then go really good. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, it's one of those things. It's going to be a tough game. And it'll be a tough game. We're going to have to, you know, really communicate and really identify threats and be able to get after the ball a little bit. And then offensively, we're going to have to, you know, execute and do the things we do. And you know, I think it's going to be a great game. I really do. I think it's going to be a great night for it. We have not played Grapevine Faith in football at Lake Country as far as on the varsity level. I did back in the day when I was at Southwest Christian. We played Grapevine Faith quite a bit back when Chris Hogan was there and all that good stuff. And we've had some really good matchups and things like that. So I'm excited to start that back up again. Grapevine Faith does a super job within their school, and everything that they do is top notch. So I'm excited about playing a quality opponent.
Well, Coach, you're a brother in Christ. You're an absolute gentleman. One of the nicest guys I think I've ever had a chance to interview. You've been so gracious with your time. Man, we really appreciate it. Good luck to you and the Eagles the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on, and look forward to seeing you Friday night.
You bet. That's Lake Country Christian's head coach, Wade White. The Bobby Holland Show is next, followed by the Lake Country Eagles hosting your Grapevine Faith Lions. Coming up on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network. Time for our weekly sit-down with the head coach of the Lions on the Bobby Holland Show. And, Coach, a lot to talk about for this past Friday night, but as always, just really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a much-needed, a hard-fought, and a well-earned victory for the Lions on the road against Atlas at Western Hills High School. Coach, there's a lot of places I'm tempted to go, but I'm gonna keep it on the controllables, keep the focus there. But man, a lot of great things to talk about after Friday night's game. After watching the film and kind of decompressing from the weekend, what were the things that jumped out to you from that win Friday night?
Well, it was nice to see areas of the game that we have emphasized during the bye week and the 2 weeks since we last played our last game. It was nice to see those areas that we emphasized show big improvements. So that means, you know, what we're doing in practice is showing up on the field. And so the main one for that was special teams. So kickoff and kickoff return had their best 2 nights of the year. And we finally won that category. And then our field goal unit, we spent a lot of time the last 2 weeks improving our field goal blocking. So it was nice that we were perfect on extra points, and then we got to kick a field goal late in the game to make it a 2-score lead and kind of make it really hard for them to come back on us.
Yeah, that was a huge kick there by Cade to make it a 2-score game. It really seemed to, you know, if you don't make that, it's still a 1-score game and it's kind of still up in the air. But that really seemed to solidify. That was, I'm sure, a confidence booster for him and the team.
For sure, yeah. Cade had a really good game. He made that kick, and then we kicked off a variety of different ways. He was sometimes pooching it. He was sometimes hitting a grounder. He was sometimes kicking it deep. So we asked a lot of him. He did a great job.
Well, normally when you lose a turnover battle and turn the ball over 4 times, that's hard to overcome. But you guys found a way to do that and limit the impact that the turnovers you guys had. You had some takeaways on defense, which were great, 2 fumble recoveries and the 1 interception. But that was really what stuck out to me is how you overcame those turnovers that you guys had.
Yeah, normally if you turn the ball over 4 times, you're talking about, you're usually losing the game. But unless you can take three back away from them, which we were able to do on defense, that was really big. But on the other hand, we got to fix that on offense.
Yeah. Well, you guys had 519 yards on offense, 116 on the ground, 403 passing from Austin Cosby, who now has over 1,200 yards passing on the season. While it's only your 3rd highest rushing yards on the season, to me, from what I saw, it really seemed like you used the rushing game to set up some key passing opportunities.
Yeah, we came out at halftime and were able to run the ball really well. I think Jace Walker was running the ball really hard. There was one play where I think he broke 6 tackles in the 3rd quarter. It was pretty awesome. And that forced them to really kind of show their hand and kind of put more players in the box, which then, of course, opens up the passing game. And we were able to take advantage of that with some big passes.
Well, last week we talked about your prep for Atlas. You knew that they were going to throw some blitz packages at you guys and really felt like the offensive line stepped up. Jensen calls it the Austin protection plan. But I felt like the offensive line did a really good job, not only Friday night, but this season of giving Austin time to find the receivers. Talk about their performance this year.
Yeah, I felt like they had just like you said, a really good game. All week long, Coach Dickert and I were running the scout defense and just sending guys from all over the place and really kind of throwing the kitchen sink at our offensive line. And they got better each day, and it was nice to see them on Friday, for the most part, execute pretty good pass protection. And then, blocking on the ground for our running backs was also really good. So they continue to get better every week. I'm really proud of them.
Well, I'll keep it generic, but you had some challenges that you had to overcome that were really out of your control. But I know you used those as life lessons for these guys as well. But what was your message to the team at halftime and at the end of the game on facing some of those challenges that you really had no control over?
Yeah, well, when we got there was a JV game going on, and it was in the 1st quarter, so we knew this could be interesting for warm-ups. The locker room didn't have a bathroom in it, so we had to get creative there. And so, I told the players, hey, back during training camp, we talked about if it don't bleed, it don't matter, which means, hey, something's not ideal, but it's really not that big of a deal unless I make it a big deal. And so I said, look, we're not going to warm up the way we normally do. We're not going to have a meet pregame the way we normally do. It is what it is. We're just going to have to roll with it. And the kids had great attitudes about it, and we made it work. So I was really impressed by that. And then at halftime, I felt like we played well in the first half, but our players needed to be pushed. It was not the right time for a pat on the back and just keep it up. They needed to be pushed because there were still, despite the success we had in the first half, there were areas where I felt like we weren't playing hard enough. And I challenged them, if you really want to win this game, are you willing to do what it takes to win? And that means we got to play a little bit harder than we think we're currently playing. And I think they responded in the second half and did that.
Well, y'all did what y'all had really found some challenges to do in those first 3 games and found a way to close out the game and play those 4 quarters and put it away.
Yeah, I think we've struggled, I think, with getting ahead and then just kind of relaxing. And so you heard a lot of the players on the sidelines saying, stay focused, stay on them. And we continue to execute with great effort. And yeah, I'm proud of the way that we handled that.
Well, I know Friday night was a great win for you guys, but I know for you, the highlight of the weekend was your son getting baptized on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, I don't know, and maybe I have, but if I haven't, for those who haven't heard it, Coach, I wonder if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about your faith journey.
Oh, okay. So my parents became believers about a year into their marriage. Both of them grew up kind of going to church, but not really knowing, theologically what was going on. My grandparents had joined a Bible study that their friends invited them to. And then they became believers and then talked to my parents. My dad thought his parents had gone crazy, but they kept on praying for him. And he eventually started to attend Bible studies and gave his life to Christ. And so I was raised in a Christian home. And so I've never known a day without knowing the Lord, which is really great. And I hope to be able to give that to my own kids. And so I really benefited from a really good youth program in middle school. We had a youth director. His name was Tim Tinsley. He was a big guy. He was an athlete, kind of a guy's guy. We all thought he was really funny and really cool. But he really prepared us, really theologically. He taught, what it means to be a sinner, what it means to be in need of a savior. Christ's perfect life substituting for us, and us getting the credit for his perfection, him taking our punishment that we deserve. I really at a young age had a good understanding of that. And so I was really blessed in that regard. And then in high school, my high school coach, Scott Smith, was a believer in, I think at that age, you're very sensitive to people who might be hypocritical with their faith and talk about being a Christian, but then you kind of witness them on a day-to-day basis. This guy's not really living it out, but he was the real deal. And so, that was a really impressionable time in my life. And to have someone, an adult that I looked up to and admired, spending a lot of time with him, living his faith that way, made a big impact on me. Those have been two big influences on my life. And then, marrying my wife, she's a believer, and she's really challenged me the last really since COVID, to spend more time in Scripture, to spend more time in prayer, to memorize Scripture, and to really be more intentional with our children and their faith.
Well, yeah, I know Lorraine is a big influence, not only on you, but obviously the family, and she's on staff at the church and an influence on the lives of so many others. So what a great legacy you guys are leaving for your kids and for others, and the impact you're having on these players. So we definitely appreciate that. Well, we'll shift our focus back to football. And this Friday night, you guys stood up against the Eagles from Lake Country Christian, another road game in Fort Worth. They are 1-3 in non-district play as well, and both teams really looking to get a win and get some momentum, continue momentum into district. What are your observations about the Eagles, and what do you think are some of the key things you're going to capitalize on to get a win this week?
Well, they're a very fundamentally sound team. I think, in my weekly letter, I talked to some of the dads about, hey, you may have to teach your son what it's like to have fullbacks and tight ends, and maybe dust off some of your old VHS tapes and relive the glory days. But they offensively kind of play an old school brand of football, which I think will be really handy for us, because Southwest Christian does that. Different times of the night, All Saints will get in formations like that. So it's a great preparation and a great challenge for our defense. And then for our offense, they line up pretty similarly to the way we do. So I'm hoping that will feel, when you meet a defense that's similar to your own defense, that's usually a really good thing for your offense, because there's some familiarity there. Mm-hmm. So, I'm expecting us to play really well.
Awesome. Well, Coach, as always, appreciate your insights and thanks for sharing about your faith journey and just for sharing with us. And as always, we appreciate the time.
Thank you, Steve.
That's head coach Bobby Holland here on the Bobby Holland Show. Your Lions on the road against the Lake Country Christian Eagles. Coming up next here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network.
Come up here. Hi, football fans. Welcome to Eagle Stadium here on the campus of Lake Country Christian School. Steve Anthony alongside Jack Warden, who's back in the saddle alongside me here for color. And the Lions have just taken the field through their helmet. And we are propped up on I will call it a tower. They call it a tower. It's a tower slash deer stand, I guess is probably one way to put it. And so, we're gonna make the best of this. We put the camera up top, so there's two levels to this. Jack and I are on the bottom level, along with Colton Cox, who's gonna be doing some huddle camera, iPad, very very technical stuff basically. And Jack and I are here. Captain's going out.
Sorry, Steve, we had to do some technical work over here.
Corbin Irwin, Jensen Anthony, Ryan Perdue, and I think
I kind of like the setup, Steve. It is tight quarters.
It is.
Temporary tight quarters, it looks like, too. But good to be here. Steve, reminded of a Kiss, the way the band Kiss used to say stuff. You've had the rest. Now it's time for the best, Steve. We've had all these substitute color commentators.
Yeah.
And we want to thank them. Both your sons are great. And Matt Sobecki was great, too. I'm a little worried about my job going forward, but the pay is really good, so I just want to make sure it stays that way. So good to be back here this week. I think we're going to be this way for the rest of the year.
We noticed we were a little hot there on our mic, so turned us down. So hopefully that's much, much better. Grapevine Faith is going to receive the opening kickoff. The Eagles won the toss, deferred to the second half, and Faith will receive to start the game. We are facing due south. The field runs east-west. And we're going to have the national anthem at this point. I think we might even have a prayer, the opening prayer, and then we'll have the national anthem.
Offered by Dr. Jordan, head of school of Lake Country, followed by our national anthem, performed by 5th grade intermediate student Lacey Harris. Dr. Jordan.
Let's pray. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for Friday night football in Texas. Lord, thank you for a place called Lake Country Christian School and Grapevine Faith Christian School. Legacies that those schools leave families for generations. And Lord, I lift up our players tonight. I lift up our cheerleaders and band. I lift up Coach White and the memory of Gary White's on our sideline tonight, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity that we get to compete, the talents that you've given each and every individual athlete on the field and on the sidelines. Lord, I lift up families that are going through a cancer diagnosis. I lift them up for healing, Lord. Lord, those families that are impacted by cancer, Lord, that we would just lift them up to you. Lord, go before us tonight. Send Grapevine Faith home safely after this game. We love you and we praise you. In Christ's name, amen.
Fifth grade, Steve.
Well, folks, we understand some static coming through. We are in a metal deer blind / tower construction zone.
No lightning, though,
and
Steve.
Yeah, no light. Hey, it's not 30 degrees and raining, so I'm not. It sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. Why the static is going through, I cannot tell you, folks. So we're going to try to figure that out and hopefully get it corrected. I think it's better now. I had my headset out by the front trying to capture the national anthem there.
And what a great national anthem. The young lady is only in 5th grade. Have the courage to sing and be able to do what she did. That's great.
Right.
So.
Well, we mentioned the Eagles of Lake Country won the toss and have deferred to the second half, so the Lions will receive the opening kickoff. Lions in their all-white uniforms, white bottoms with the blue stripe down the side, white jerseys with the red numerals outlined in navy, white helmets with the red Lions logo. Lake Country in navy blue pants. Navy, it looks black, but it's navy blue. Their colors are red, white, and blue as well. Navy blue pants. I'll spit it out in a second. Navy shirt, navy jerseys, navy helmets with the red numerals outlined in white. They'll be going from east to west, from our left to our right, and the wind will be at their back. There's a decent wind coming out of the east, Jack. I saw in the pregame, when we were doing our pregame, the kickers were Kay Johnson was hitting for 40 with plenty to spare, so that wind is definitely playing a factor.
Let's hope that Kay Johnson doesn't have to kick a 40-yard
Yeah,
field
right.
goal.
Let's hope it doesn't come down to that. All right, so here they are to kick off, and that ball is going to go well over the head of Charlie Donovan and out of the end zone, bringing it out to the 25. The Lions will start 1st and 10. Let's take a look at if I can get it set up here, the Lions offensive lineup here. I meant to have this teed up. Brian Partridge is going to be so disappointed in me that I didn't have this already teed up. I know, right?
Goodness gracious.
We'll get to that here momentarily, but get to that offensive lineup here in just a second. All right, 1st and 10. Jace Walker in the backfield with Austin Cosby, 2 receivers split to each side. Hand off to Walker up the middle. Makes a couple of cuts. He's dragged down, but not until he picks up about 4 yards on the play. So nice little first down run there by Jace Walker.
Yeah, nice for a little run. Jace Walker is becoming an integral part of the offense this season so far, Steve. He's gotten better and better each week.
2nd down and 6 after that gain of 4. Jace still in the backfield next. The Eagles jump. I think there's a flag down thrown up.
Oh, that's a great
Walker
throw.
with the catch. He brings it down inside of Eagles territory, inside the 40-yard line. There is a penalty flag down. That's going to be an offside against the Eagles. We talked last week, the Atlas team had talked about they were going to practice that hard count. It looks like the Eagles may not have practiced that this week, Jack, because on the second play from scrimmage, they are offside, and the Lions get a free play, results in a first down. So they are inside.
Yeah, nice little 31-yard pickup there for the Lions, Steve.
Again, Walker in the backfield with Cosby. Offense looks to the side. He makes some shifts around. Cannon Hunter comes off the field and substitute a couple of guys in. Walker Little now in the backfield next to Austin Cosby. And Jason the slot. Snap back to Cosby, looking to pass. Good protection.
Oh, he's wide open.
Overthrown, intended for Noah Smith, but he was...
Boy, that was like in slow motion, Steve. He was wide open for that 10-yard out, and it ended up being a 20-yard pass.
Well, there was safety help coming over, so probably good that it was a little bit overthrown, because anything under that, it may have been intercepted. So 2nd down and 10 after that incompletion. Again, just underway here. Sun now going down behind the housing over here to the west side. Again, we're facing towards the south. The Lions visitor sidelines over here on the north side. Hand off to Jace Walker, takes it around the right side, cuts back up towards the middle of the field, and gets piled on by a couple of Eagles.
Jace Walker on the carry.
And they help him up. No gain on the play, so he's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Tackles made by number 7, Curran Hard.
It's kind of a little nice confines over here, Steve. Tight, small, quaint.
Yeah, the school is like in an old shopping center, strip center. It's kind of its interesting setup. But we'll talk a little bit more. Yeah, but the stadium looks it's nice. The field is nice, and
yeah, they've done a lot of work over the last 10 years on the stadium. One of my friends' moms used to be the headmaster for a long time.
Big 3rd down play here. Cosby looking to pass. Good protection. Thrown to the outside. Intended for Cannon Hunter, and that falls incomplete.
Boy, you didn't want this one early on, Steve. You wanted like a 3rd and 3 or 4th and 2, but you're not getting either of that.
Well, we talked about last week, Brooks and I did, about not having long. We talked about every week, seems like, not having long 3rd down plays. They're going to bring the punt unit on.
And this is tough, too. As you mentioned, Steve, it's going to be east to west on this wind. It's going to be a tough wind for Kate Johnson.
One noticeable absence tonight is on the sideline is senior Christian Corley with a knee injury. Talked to his dad, Braxton, this morning. He's out for a minimum of 3 weeks.
Ooh.
So, injured it last week. He'd injured it back in March and then re-injured it last week. There's kind of a line drive kick
There's not that bad.
Guy rushing the punter who just drove Cade back about 30 yards for no reason whatsoever. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So the Eagles will take over 1st and 10.
I mean, not the best start, Steve, but not the worst start either.
Yep.
I mean, you can't expect too much there.
Here's our defensive lineup real quick, Jack.
Oh, sorry.
Austin Odette, defensive end, class of 2026.
CC, defensive tackle, class of 2027.
Colton Edwards, defensive end, class of 2026.
Ryan Purdue, right guard, class of 25.
Corbin Irwin, linebacker, class of 2026.
Jackson Walker, outside linebacker, class of 2027.
Owen Payne, outside linebacker, class of 2027.
Cannon Hunter, cornerback, class of 2027.
Charlie Donovan, wide receiver, cornerback, class of 2026.
Tyler Brown, safety, class of 2026.
Christian Corley, safety, class of 2025.
First play from scrimmage, gained 9 yards. Sorry, we missed a little bit of that with the lineup, but gain of 9 on that play. Ryan White's the son of Wade White's the head coach for Lake Country. You hopefully saw some of his pregame interview along with the Bobby Holland show. So 2nd down and 1 for the Eagles. Line stalled on their first drive and had to punt.
Like to run out of that
Snap
Wildcats.
Back. Yep. The pass, almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of the tight end. Yeah, so White's lined up as a quarterback position, but he's a running back and wide receiver. Their quarterback, their starting quarterback, is Timothy Wright. We saw a lot of him.
He gets in that quarterback position, then moves out to the wing. I mean, throws the defense off for just a touch, but if you've seen it 2 or 3 times, it's probably not that big of a deal. Brings up 3rd and short, Steve.
Yeah, still 3rd and 1, so big play here, big opportunity here for the defense.
Sorry about the wind, folks. It is a pretty good gust, I would say.
Yeah, it's going to play. Let's see if it dies down after the sun goes completely down or if it's going to build up a little bit. White's under center. There's a handoff. Hit immediately. Handoff to Cage Barrett. But he's got enough for the first down and then some. He's got probably 2 there. We are literally right behind. We could almost reach out and touch Brent Walker, the great Brent Walker, standing right in front of us, along with the other dads who will tell the coaches what plays they should be running. I'm kidding.
Well, they will, but I mean, don't joke about it.
Right. All right, 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Both teams 1 and 3 in non-district coming into this. This is both teams' last non-district game before district play starts next week.
Yeah.
Lions hosting the Fort Worth All Saints. It's going to be a big test for them. There's quarterback back to pass.
Oh, there
pass
he
to
is.
the outside. Yeah, we talked about Everett Pitts in the pregame. He's a linebacker and tight end, and they rely on him. He catches a lot of passes for them. A big tight end out off the line. So
Joshua Harris on the tackle.
Coach Holland talked about the fact you're going to see a little bit of an old school type of offense, Jack, with under center, tight ends, those type of setups. So Lions are going to have to make some adjustments, some things they really haven't seen this year.
Yeah, and actually I was looking at the back underneath. He was wide open as well, but they went to Pitts on that. Still picked up 14 yards.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
Oh, I love the sprints in the line, too. Kind of gives the defense, doesn't give the defense a chance to see what they're setting up in.
Here's a handoff right up the middle. Plows forward, still on his feet.
Goodness
Finally
gracious.
taken down, but man, a gain of about 7 on the play. Actually, a gain of 8. So the Eagles very early on here working their passing game, their short passing game, and their running game very effectively. So 2nd down and 2. They're inside of Lions territory at the Lions' 48-yard line. Coach Holland signals in the defense to Corbin Irwin. He tells the rest of the group what the play is, and trying to see who's back there at safety in place of Christian. I can't quite catch a number there.
20.
Oh, it's Sterling. It's Sterling.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew Sterling was the backup. I saw Sterling on Sunday night. I didn't mention anything about the start this week.
There's Wright. There's
little
kind of a busted play. There's a handoff still on his feet. Golly, they still gain 6-7 yards out of that play. So that's enough for a first down. That's going to move the chains. There's a track here around the the football field, so there's a lot of room. Cheerleaders right in front of the visitor stands and then the sideline, so a lot of room here on both sides.
Defense better start stepping up a little bit here, Steve. You know, we've talked about them being a bend, don't break defense, but boy, the rushing attack has been severe against us tonight.
Yeah. 7:36 left here in the first quarter, just underway, no score. Right under center, back to pass. Pass here to the near side. Hit immediately, but that's caught for a completion. Hit immediately by Charlie Bunch. But that's a nice gain of about 6 yards on the play. So Wright has been effective so far. Again, the Eagles came out kind of in a wildcat formation. A couple snaps to Whites to start, and then they brought in. Please be careful. Colt Cox, is right behind us, and we don't have a safety harness, and OSHA would fire us right now. Man in motion. There's a pitch to the left side, to the back. Trey Thompson still on his feet. That's going to be enough for a first down. They're going to move the chains again.
Carries made by number 30, Troy Thompson.
Yeah, that was about a 9 or 8 yard gain there, Steve.
Corbin Irwin on the tackle. But not until the Eagles get a first down.
We were talking about that Cistercian game earlier today. Not having Corbin in that game probably hurt us in the rushing attack. They just ran that quarterback right up the middle each time, and not having Corbin in the middle probably hurt us just a touch in that game. Good to have him back.
Yeah, no doubt. Lions having to make some adjustments with senior Christian Corley out tonight at the safety position we mentioned. I formation, man in motion here to the near side. Right back to pass. To the far part of the end zone, wide open, and he's in for the touchdown.
Nice pass, complete.
Yeah, did a little out and then cut back up, Jack, and we missed the coverage on that, so touchdown for the Eagles. They score in their first possession. 6 minutes, 7 seconds left, and it's 6-0, Lake Country.
Well, they kind of set up that rushing attack early, Steve. A lot of rushes in that little series right there.
For the extra point. And the kick is good.
All right.
They seem to have come out with a pretty good offensive scheme so far tonight, Steve, for Lake Country Christian.
Yeah, it's effective. They scored on their first possession, right? So we'll take a look here. The Lions will be receiving the kickoff. Let's take a look at the Lions starting offense.
Austin Cosby, quarterback, class of 26.
Charlie Donovan, wide receiver, cornerback, class of 2026.
Charlie Bunch, wide receiver, class of 2027.
Cannon Hunter, cornerback, class of 2027.
Jace Walker, receiver, class of 2027.
Noah Smith, wide receiver, class of 2026.
Jensen Anthony, center, class of 2026.
Austin Bowling, offensive tackle, class of 2025.
Ryan Purdue, right guard, class of 25.
Slade Corley, right tackle, class of 2027.
Bear Couch, left guard, class of 2027.
Lake Country to kick off. They lead 7-0 with 6 minutes, 7 seconds left here in the first quarter. Another pooch kick. Should go out of bounds if the Lions don't touch it, and it does. Penalty flags come flying in. The Eagles, the only common team that they have with the Lions was Fort Worth Christian. And Fort Worth Christian won that game 49-7. Lost one of their key players, Kate Cropholler, in that game. So the Lions start 1st and 10. I'm not sure where the official's going.
Well, it's a 5-yard penalty. You either can start where the ball went out or the 5-yard penalty.
Okay. Well, I'm saying the guy with the ball was walking back inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah,
so, yeah, there we go. I was like, I knew it wasn't that far back.
Lions has the ball at the 30-yard line.
Lions stalled in their first drive. They got the opening kickoff, got down inside the 40-yard line of the Eagles, and then had to punt. Then the Eagles took their first possession down, scored on a touchdown pass from right. Handoff to Jace Walker up the middle. Stacked up. Big hit there. Nice pancake block there by Bear Couch. Drove his man back into the secondary and just pancaked him.
I gave him a 1 yard on that one, Steve.
Coach Music, you'll like this, Jack. Coach Music has now started giving out little pancake stickers for the offensive lineman's helmet when they do a pancake block. So that's gonna bode well for Bear. Pass here to the near side, intended for Walker Little, thrown behind him, falls incomplete. Also not quite yet in sync with his receivers just yet.
Yeah, it seemed like he got a little nervous with that pass and kind of threw before he needed to.
So 3rd down and 9. Again, the Lions in another 3rd and long situation. Officials come in and blow. Oh, they had to remark the ball, so it was just over the 30-yard line, between the 30 and the 31-yard lines. All right, so here we go. Yep, free play, offside, looking deep. That ball is knocked away.
You got to be careful on that play, Steve. You don't want to get offensive pass interference to do offsetting penalties.
That would negate your. Yeah.
Yep. We'll pick up 5 yards on that one.
A little more reasonable 3rd and 4 coming up. Yeah, you're right. Charlie Bunch was battling for the ball and came close there to push it off and get an offensive pass interference penalty on him.
Sometimes
we're
the
down the
refs
sideline talking
take
to the
off
defense.
after that one, though.
What's that?
Sometimes the refs take off after that play, so they stop paying attention. Not accusing the refs of being bad. I'm just saying that sometimes you lose focus on that play.
All right.
3rd and a long 4, Steve.
Big play here for the Lions. Snap back to Cosby. Pass here to the near side. Stretch caught by Noah Smith.
Wow, what a catch by Noah.
Right just over the first down marker. Enough for a first down. That'll move the chains. Great catch. Another acrobatic catch by Noah Smith. We saw 3 of those last week, at least 3 last week against Atlas. And, man, what a big play there by Noah Smith.
That was big. Cosby. It's the same play they had called earlier in the series, but with a different receiver with Noah.
So invite you to stick around at halftime. Stories of Faith this week. Coach Gene Topping, he's on the sideline down there, standing at the 47-yard line right now. One of the defensive coaches, and he's the head varsity girls basketball coach. There's Cosby looking to pass. He's going to keep it, runs out of the pocket. It's a pass to Jace, just out of his reach. And the Eagles in pursuit, so falls incomplete. Going to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know why he just didn't kind of fake that pass and run with it.
Yeah, the pocket. He tucked it like he was going to, and then they started converging on him, and then he saw Jason had him open probably for. I'm not sure he gets the first down, but he had a gain of probably 4 or 5 yards, and just out of his reach.
Positive yardage is good, Steve. I don't know if you know that or not.
I will take positive yardage every day over negative yardage. All right, 2nd down and 10. 5 minutes, 7 seconds here in the first quarter. Eagles lead 7-0. It's a pass right across the middle, caught by Charlie Bunch inside Eagles territory, and that's enough for a first down. That'll move the chains.
Yeah, nice pickup there. About 12-yard pickup by Charlie Bunch there. Great pass and catch right there.
First down, Lions.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Lions. At the Eagles' 47-yard line, we'll call it. Give you a phone number here in just a second. If you're watching, we'd love to know where you're watching from and give you a shout out. Snap back to Cosby. Looks to the far side. Runs to his right. Gets rid of it. Gets shoved down after. That ball falls incomplete out of bounds.
Well, Cosby has gone incomplete, complete, incomplete, complete, incomplete on the series. So we're due for a completion on this next pass.
Yeah, we need a big play here. We always want to give a shout out to the great Bethany Powers. So this is Bethany. This is us not giving you a shout out, since you hate shout outs.
Yeah.
But if you want to text us, 817-980-7994. 817-980-7994. Give us a text. Let us know where you're watching from. 2nd down and 10 for the Lions, just inside of Eagles territory here. Complete to Charlie Bunch.
I think that may have been Noah. No? Yep, Charlie Bunch.
That is enough for a first down. That's going to move the chains. But folks, I'm going to apologize in advance if I'm coughing. I had some allergy crud this week that I've been battling. Jack, you had it too, I think, a little bit, didn't you?
Last week, yes. My young son in Ole Miss gave it to me, I believe.
Thanks for nothing, young son in Ole Miss.
Young son.
All right, 1st and 10 for the
What I tell
Lions.
you, it's going to be a completion, by the way.
Nice sustainable drive here so far. Jace Walker in the backfield. Snap back to Cosby. It is a handoff to Jace. He's up the middle, escapes. Still breaks another couple tackles. Man, he is hard to bring down. He did that last week very effectively, Jack. And that is a first down run, about a 12-yard gain there by Jace Walker.
Yeah, I mean, he has been a very good addition to the squad on the running game. I mean, I think games 1 and 2, we didn't see much of him, but these last couple games we have.
Getting our camera guy Dax to zoom in just a hair.
Yeah, road games are a little more difficult for our technology, isn't it, Steve?
What? We have a hard enough time at home. Yeah, road games, it's we're running around like a bunch of confused Presbyterians, man. All right, back to Cosby. Pass. Oh! Intended for Noah, and he wasn't. I think that's for Noah. He was looking for a pass to the end zone, Jack, and Austin threw kind of a little button hook.
Just so you know, it's due for a completion on this next
one.
Here
on this next one. All right, Jack is keeping the tally here.
Well, I like to go bogey par, bogey par, bogey par.
How'd you play today, Jack?
I didn't play today.
You only play on days that end in Y. I forgot.
Yeah, today was not such a nice day. It was, rainy and – no, I'm just kidding. Beautiful day today. Probably should have played golf today.
2nd down and 10. The downs mark over on the side says first. It's the 2nd down after that complete pass. Pass to the far side and complete to Charlie Bunch. Stays on his feet, stays in bounds. Finally wrestled out of bounds. Gain of about right at 10 yards. That's a first down.
Tackle made by number 3, Colby Moore.
He caught it, Jack, probably 2 yards past the line, maybe 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, and then kind of squirmed his way down for another couple of yards and got enough for a first down.
Yeah, that was a nice pass and catch. And by the way, we're due for an incompletion here.
Hand off to Walker, little cuts over here to the left side, drags a tackler with him for a couple of yards. Nice tackle there by Everett Pitts. He was the tight end we talked about earlier. You're going to see him on both sides of the ball tonight. Nice gain, though, about 3 yards. Shout out to the great Matt Lambro. He's stuck in his truck in traffic on his way here. We're going to interview. We'll talk about this in a second. We do have an interview coming up in the third quarter, which we'll tell you about in a second. I got questions for him. All right, Cosby back to pass. Scrambles. Rolls back over to his right, looking for a receiver.
Oh, nice.
And it's caught by Noah Smith. Excuse me. I don't even know how he caught that in traffic. Gain of about 4 yards on the play. He's going to bring up 3rd down. The Lions can actually get a first down without scoring. It's they got to get to the 1 yard line. So 3rd down. Yeah, we're gonna spend some time with the boys' head basketball coach Matt Saman. Once we start the third quarter up, his wife Jana is the athletic director here. Snap back to Cosby. Pass. Touchdown. Walker Little. Well, that's, Jack, to me, that's just the effectiveness of having a receiver like Noah Smith and Charlie Bunch and others. They key on them so heavily. That was Walker coming out of the backfield, and he walked in almost untouched.
Yeah, and it's good seeing Walker coming out of the backfield, too. That gives you a different look that we haven't seen in the last couple of weeks as well.
Yep. Nice job by Austin to see him open there right in the middle of the field and get that pass to him. Kay Johnson here to kick. Extra point is good. On the hold by Hudson Smith, sophomore Hudson Smith. Great to see him out there. So 2 minutes, 23 seconds left here in the first quarter. We are tied up at 7. Want to make sure we give some love to our sponsors. Reliant Air Conditioning and the Stewart family are proud supporters of Faith Christian School. Reliant Air Conditioning provides comfort to homeowners who don't want to be taken advantage of. Their service techs don't work on commission, and they don't use shady sales tactics. So call 2 other companies first, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning at 877-YOUR-HERO, and you'll see why they've been gimmick-free since '83. So the Lions now are going to kick off into that win coming out of the East.
Not bad a series there for Austin Cosby, 6 for 10 and 49 yards passing.
Yeah.
Plus you got the rushing attack, about 19 yards there.
And number 21, Jackson Bowling.
Austin Cosby's proud Mimi and Aunt Lee cheering the Lions on from Bedford. They are faithful viewers here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network. So, Mimi, we love you guys listening here on Lions football. And Aunt Lee, not just Mimi.
Who was our family that watched from Jacksonville, South Carolina? Was it Jacksonville?
I think wasn't that
I know Jacksonville started playing tonight. That's why I was asking the question.
It was it was a linebacker that graduated a couple years ago, I think. Kamapucci get caught at the 30.
You got to get that tackle.
Finally taken down. Nice play there. I think it's Charlie Donovan, on the tackle.
Yeah, if you're going to play that kick, you're going to need to make sure you make that tackle.
Yep, nice tackle there by Charlie Donovan. Brandon Bird on the reception, on the return. So the Eagles will start 1st and 10 from their own 30, right at the 35-yard line.
First down, Eagles at the 35-yard line.
You can come up at halftime. Our visit with defensive coach and head girls varsity basketball coach this year, Gene Topping, on our Stories of Faith.
Just thinking about this tower, Steve. I used to just jump down on one of these things when I was about 10. I don't think I want to do it now.
I wouldn't advise that. There's a handoff here on the left side. Right side, excuse me.
Nice stop there.
Nice play there. Charlie Bunch on the tackle. Corbin Irwin in on the tackle as well. Aunt Sue Ann in Houston watching that fabulous nephew. Sterling Atkins, number 25. Go, boy, go, she says. Great to have you watching as well, Aunt Sue Ann. And Skip Hirsch. Skip and Terry Hirsch. Jensen Anthony's great Skip and great Terry watching from Williamsburg, Virginia. Hello from Aunt Debbie from St. Joe, Texas. She says, go Lions. Aunt Debbie, great to have you with us here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network. Appreciate you guys listening.
That Montague County line up there.
About that. There's a handoff up the middle. Nice play by the defense there.
No gain.
No gain on that one. Yeah, maybe one, but nice defensive stand by the defensive front there for the Lions.
Tackles made by number 40,
Jackson Walker.
I'd say no gain, but it looks like they posted. Looks like they posted a 2-yard gain there. I apologize.
Well, it was a nice stop still.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get it 3 and out here. Kind of get that back on track a little bit.
So big third down play here. If the Lions can hold them, force them to punt. They bring a receiver to each side. I formation behind Wrights, who's under center. Looking to pass. Pass to the far side. Complete. That's going to be enough for a first down. Well, Tim Wright has got some composure. And again, a little different look that the Lions aren't used to. Under center with an I formation, kind of an old school offensive formation, as Coach Holland talked about, with some tight ends and so forth in the mix. 1st and 10 right at midfield for the Eagles. Again, we are tied at 7.
Yeah.
50 seconds, 50 seconds left here in the first quarter.
The passing attack has been pretty clean on the sheet for Lake Country tonight. Rushing attack has been pretty solid as well.
Try to give you some scores from around the area coming up at the end of the first quarter. 1st and 10. Inside handoff, kind of a trap play. Still on his feet, driving the pile forward.
It's like we're not getting that first hit on the line, Steve.
Yeah.
And then it's just taking a couple minutes to get that linebacker crew to get in there to get a stop.
Well, on the first and second play from scrimmage, when the drive started, Jack, we had a good stand right at the line of scrimmage, but then they converted on that key third down play. So we're capable. We've shown that we're capable. Just as you said, there's a couple times we need to step up and make that stop, and that was one of them. So nice gain of 5 on the play. We'll call it a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 from the Lions' 46-yard line.
I don't know if they're going to get this play out before the quarter's over with.
5 seconds left. They just do get it off. There's a handoff up the middle. Sprinting, still on his feet. Runs over a couple of defensive backs. Finally taken down at the 25-yard line. Big run there for the Eagles. So that's going to end the first quarter. We are tied at 7, but the Eagles are threatening to score here on their second possession of the game.
That run's good for a Lake Country Eagle first down.
Good folks, try to get you some scores here from around the Metroplex. I know that Keller High School is playing Southlake for their homecoming. I'm not sure how that one's going to end for Keller.
Seems like an odd team to schedule for your homecoming of your Keller.
Man, I saw some pictures. I mean, they're all over the place. You see pictures from all over the country on these mums, and I think you need a crane or a helicopter for some of these mums to get them on some of these gals' necks. They're so unbelievably huge, and I'll just say it. They're silly. They're so dadgum huge. By the way, we'll be doing that same thing here in a couple weeks at Grapevine Faith. So. All right. So you've got any notable scores here? Liberty is up over West Plains. So it's tied with West Plains at 7 in the first.
West Plains?
Plains.
Okay.
Prestonwood Christian over Bishop Links, 14-7 in the first quarter. Lubbock Christian over Brownfield, 24-0.
Oh, the Cubs of Brownfield.
The Cubs. The great Cubs. Trinity Christian over Legacy Christian, 14-7. You just make that up? You're just making these up?
Well, I don't know. The Brownfield Cubs, I think it was Littlefield Cubs I just got confused with. But go ahead, Steve. Continue on. I will confirm all that.
Tyler Grace Community over Brook Hill, 14-0 in the first. It's a little crosstown rivalry there, out there in East Texas. All right. 1st and 10. Wright scrambles to his right, looking downfield. Got a receiver down there. He goes up and over. Cannon Hunter for the touchdown.
Pass is complete. Number 15, Ryan White. Touchdown, Eagles.
Eagles take a 13-7 lead here. Just that first play from scrimmage here in the second quarter. Kick is up, and it's good. So the Eagles now lead 14-7. Jack, I saw Coach Holland talking to the defense on the sideline over here in that first quarter, and clearly some things he wants to talk to them again. There's some things that they're going to have to shore up here pretty quick that I don't think he likes what he's seeing so far here in this first quarter. Southlake Carroll is up on Keller 10-0 in the first quarter. Richardson over Irving in the first quarter.
We won't say anything bad about Bertner.
55-0. It's not Bertner. It's just Richardson
I
High
know.
School.
I just won't say anything bad about Bertner.
55-0 in the first quarter, Jack. You're not listening.
I am listening.
55-0 in the first quarter.
Well, I don't know how that happened. How do you think that happened?
Unless they spotted him, maybe 35 points. I don't know. Hey, we'll make sure we give a shout-out to our gold sponsors. Dustin and Alicia Parker, Box Financial. Justin and Pam Holt of Holt Dental. Our silver sponsors, Rodney and Stacy Meyer of Myers Pool Care. Leland and Chrissy Pennington of Pennington Concrete. Ryan Skelly at Affinity Rate Mortgage. And our friends at Waterview Marinas in Grapevine. Thank you for your support of Grapevine Faith Football. All right, Eagles lead 14-7, just underway here in the second quarter. The Lions will have the wind at their back now. Wind's out of the east still. We're facing due south.
We got to flip the script here, Steve.
No doubt. Yeah, nice little drive that the Lions had, but defensively they're going to have to make some adjustments and figure some things out because the Eagles have them completely off balance right now. Jace Walker. There's a short kick. Fair catch called for by Jake Ford. That was close to getting an onside kick there, but Jake Ford did a good job of coming up, making the catch. And the Lions will start a good possession. Yeah,
I'd like to get that.
Yeah.
I'm going back to that. Brownfield Cubs, I was right, Steve.
Oh, look at you. We spent the last, 10 minutes digging
I
through
don't care about the 55.
I got a computer right here. We have the greatness of the internet right here, and you're over there digging through Dave Campbell's Texas
Don't you
football.
worry about what I'm doing over here. Okay.
All right, Lions.
Good starting position, though.
Yep.
We'll take
possession
that.
here of the second quarter.
It's like the bunt money ball. Just take it, throw it to first, and take the out. We'll take the 43-yard starting spot.
And off to Jace Walker. Sidesteps his way through a few guys. Big hit there, but again, nice first down run by base Jace Walker for a gain of about 6. Out near midfield.
Yeah, nice little pickup there by Jace Walker. He is just a little quick one up through the gap there, Steve.
Pat Corley, Sladen Christian's grandmother, watching from Clovis, New Mexico. Thank you, Grandma Pat. Great to always have you. You're a faithful listener as well, supporter of Grapevine Faith Athletics. We sure appreciate you. Second down here for the Eagles. Excuse me, for the Lions. Eagles showed blitz and they backed off. Pass across the middle intended for Charlie Bunch. Walker Little was in the neighborhood. Falls incomplete.
When you said the neighborhood, he was inside watching TV, though, with that. He wasn't very close to that ball.
So big third down play here. The Lions need to convert here. Chase Walker in the backfield next to Cosby.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's going to back him up 5 yards. Yep. Slade was anticipating the count there and started falling backwards. I get word from Brent Walker that former Faith Lion Tristan Dare has an unofficial visit to Texas A&M coming up. So backs him up 5 yards. There is a nuclear bombing siren going off, trying to get the Eagles pumped up. Roll out to Cosby's right, pass here to the near side. Caught. Great catch by Charlie Bunch, right past the first down marker. Well, they have really had their eye on where that marker where they need to be, Jack, and they've done a great job of getting there and even having a little bit of room to spare because they have to come back for the ball.
I swear, I think these refs need to count how many defenders are out there for Lake Country. It seems like there's 14 guys out there.
It does.
I mean, they're all over the place. That was a great pass and catch there. Good first down.
All right, 1st and 10 here. Just inside of Eagles territory. Little blitz, a little screen pass to Jace Walker, still on his feet. Taken down, looks like it's enough, or at least close to a first down. Nice little, Jace just explodes. As soon as he gets that ball, either on a handoff or on a reception, man, he just explodes.
Yeah, he stopped, and then he's just going 100 miles an hour.
That's enough for a Lions first down. So 10:35 left here in the second quarter. Lions trail 14-7. They are driving the ball here inside, well inside of Eagles territory. Snap back to Cosby. Again, rolls to his right. Looking downfield, pump fake. Looking for Charlie Bunch, and it's caught!
Dropped.
Falls incomplete. As soon as he hit the ground, it fell incomplete. Man, a great jump there. Athletic jump by Charlie Bunch to go up and get it. Just couldn't quite hang on to it.
Just need a little more air underneath that, Steve. Maybe another yard out there.
Design roll out there for Cosby.
Incomplete, complete, incomplete.
I can't keep up, Jack. You just tell me when the next complete pass is.
Well, it's going to be next throw.
That's
will
all
be complete.
2nd down and 10 here. Clock stop with 10 minutes, 15 seconds left here in the first half. Snap back to Cosby. Looking to pass. Pass to the far side, intended for Noah Smith, almost intercepted. We talked about Austin. He threw for a school record 403 yards last week against Atlas, but he had 3 interceptions in the process, and there's times that he forces the ball. So he's going to have to be careful there. Lions got away with 1. 3rd down and 10 now.
Yeah, he's got to walk. He's got to look off that safety, Steve. That safety comes over every time.
Hard count. Almost had the Eagles jumping.
I don't know why they didn't look at videotape to know that we're going to do the hard count every once in a while.
Yep. Snap back to Cosby. Looking to his left. Pass caught. Noah Smith stretches for the first down marker.
He's right at the marker.
He's right at it again. Great job by Noah Smith. Well, he has been huge this year. Clock continues to run here. Just 10 minutes here in the second quarter. Tons of time left. Again, the Lions trailing 14-7.
I'm not going to lie to you, Steve. It got dark over here in a hurry. I can't see very well.
Well, the lights are just like they're kind of right in our face.
Yeah.
Hand off to Walker up the middle.
Go.
Pulls out.
Go.
In the 5.
Go.
Touchdown, Jace Walker. Somebody grabbed his jersey, Jack, and he pulled right away from him and then sidestepped.
He has been such a great addition to the backfield this year.
Well, he really has.
It's like he finds the gap and then shoots it. Like, I mean, he's looking for it. He takes his time. He's patient and then finds that gap and goes.
Yep, he's got a great little eye. Kick is up and good by Cade Johnson. So that's going to tie our score at 14. 9 minutes, 41 seconds left here. Dax Davis on our camera tonight. So he's giving you a good shot of the scoreboard. You can see there.
You know, that's the one thing, though, Steve, we've got to get a defensive stop here. We've got to flip the script. They've got one extra possession out of that whole thing. And like you said, if Bobby got in these guys' backside on the sidelines, that's good because it looks like they're playing a little soft, if that's a word for it. I mean, I don't, that's too strong of a word, actually. I mean, it looks like they're playing as they normally do, just a little more excitement on the defensive side of the ball may be helpful tonight.
Jack, I'm going to test this and see. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, it's a little staticky.
It seems a little staticky, but we've got an extra mic we're going to use tonight for the great Coach Matt Seaman when he comes up. So
okay. Well, he can have my headphone.
Oh, no. I want you grilling him as well, man, the only way that Jack Wharton can. Just I want to feel like he's on a Phil Donahue show, and you're like leaning over the people.
Tell me, do you like man-to-man or zone defense, Coach? All we can play around here is zone with our size. Those kids down at Terhune, they're kind of short.
Yeah, baby. All right, so Kay Johnson to kick off.
Kay Johnson's been a nice addition. He's gotten stronger each week as he's come along.
He's really, really improved. It's been great to see him step into that role after Thomas Hudnall got injured. And last week hit a key field goal.
Yeah, you really can't pee for Kay anymore, can you, Steve?
No, you cannot. You cannot pee for Kay. It's a big kick back deep, right at the goal line. They're going to bring it out.
Bring it out. Well, I don't think he had a choice.
Field. Big hit, hard hit there. Nice tackle there by Hudson Smith. Lowered his shoulder. Yeah, Kay Johnson, 4 for 4 coming into this game on extra point attempts, so now he's 6 for 6. And,
you know what? I just noticed, I think we're one referee down tonight, Steve. The head referee is doing the marking. He's got one extra job tonight, it appears.
Well, that's a 5-man crew. That's correct.
Is it?
Yeah, you got a head linesman, you got the line judge, back judge, the umpire, and the referee.
I just saw him come running up and mark the spot, so I don't know what's going on.
Maybe the umpire's not able to get there.
And he's agile. This is one of the first referees I've seen in a long time that's agile.
You're big on them getting into position and moving and running.
Well, I mean, just maybe semi-athletic, maybe. I don't know. Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to say that out loud. I mean, I played intramural sports in college, Steve. I don't know if I told you.
You're kind of a big deal. All right, 9:33 here in the first half. Handoff. Nice gain tackle there by the Lions.
Yeah, that's a nice. I mean, that's what you need to do. Get a 1-yard gain there. Stop. No gain is better, but Colton Edwards with the tackle there, Steve.
Love me some Colton Edwards. Amazing kid.
You know, it seems like that their running attack seems to have a little more speed, almost like they're running downhill when they get to that line of scrimmage. I noticed that on the first drive, but, you know, it just seems like they got a little more head of steam.
Yeah, without question, man, their running back is explosive. And when he gets the ball, like he hits the hole and he is full steam ahead.
Yeah.
Much like Jason on our side of the ball. 3 receivers here on the near side. Right looking to pass. He's chased out of the pocket, rolls to his right, throws downfield, throws it out of bounds, throws it away.
It's a really smart move.
Great pursuit there by the Lions.
Yeah, nice defensive attack there by the Lions, but really smart move by Whites at quarterback. Right at quarterback, sorry.
Still some folks trickling in. Man, as the crow flies, this place is not that far.
Oh, my gosh.
But, man,
there's no direct attack.
Very circuitous route. I just want to say circuitous.
Yeah, that's a good
route
word.
To get here.
It's a cornucopia of roads you got to get here.
Yeah, they're driving around like a bunch of confused Presbyterians, Jack.
Oh, my gosh.
Bethany Powers, if you're listening.
You're not allowed to go to Presbyterian
I want some credit. I want some credit for that. So that's a little inside joke there. All right. So tight formation here on 3rd down and 9. One receiver split to each side. There's a penalty flag down.
I think that's illegal motion.
Yep.
Has to be.
They're going to blow it dead. Oh, delay
game.
Yeah,
wow.
They did not get the play off in time. There's a play clock. Unlike last week at Western Hills High School, we did not have a play clock, and the officials were having to keep it on the field.
I just thought the center was really bad for Faith last week. I mean, snapping that ball
illegally. Terrible. Who is that kid? And whose kid is that? That's the bigger question. Not who is that kid. Whose kid is that?
You know, I was listening to it, so I wasn't paying attention. I was like, seems to be a lot of illegal procedures tonight.
Man.
When you lose Steve Anthony on the refs, you really have lost yourself.
You know it's bad. Yeah, Jack Wharton, that fuse is short. But, man, dude, it was, you couldn't even breathe. But anyway, all right, backs it up. 3rd down and 14. 2 receivers to the right. Right looking to pass. Deep pass. Caught in between 2 receivers. And that is more than enough for a first down. Well, he slid right in between the defensive back and the safety, Jack, the cornerback and the safety. And that's a huge gain. You really needed to stop there, Jack. You would have pinned him deep for a punt, would have ended up with some decent field position.
That pass is good for Lake Country Eagle touchdown.
All right. Eagles with the 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. That was a missed opportunity there for the Lions.
I don't even know what to say, Steve. I just kept my mouth shut.
Now, there'll be some discussions at halftime for sure. As a pitch here to the near side.
Got to make that stop.
Tackle. Gain of 2 on the play, out to midfield. Nice tackle there by Jackson Walker. Twin brother of Jace. Jace has been so effective on the offensive side. Jackson's so effective on the defensive side at that linebacker position. Those are both just sophomores. Young team here for the Lions. Only 6 seniors on the team, and you got one of your key injuries, Christian Corley, out for at least 3 weeks. We'll see what his prognosis is here in a couple of weeks.
You know, not only did you lose a great athlete there, Steve, but you also lost a lot of experience on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. Well, and they put Christian in the receiver position as well when needed. So he's played both sides. Here's Wright with the play action. Scrambles here to his near side. Is looking to pass. Scrambles back to the far side. Wide open. Oh, wide open.
Woo! We'll take it.
Hit Troy Thompson right in the hands. He had nothing but green in front of him.
I was looking to see there had to be an illegal man downfield, but there wasn't.
No.
He stayed within the yard. That was crazy.
I think it was a design rollout to his left here, but man, the defense pursued very nicely and closed that up. Wright was forced back to his right. Thompson was wide open with nobody within probably 15 yards of him. So some defensive lapses here for the Lions, and no doubt Coach Holland's going to try to shore that up. All right, right at midfield, 3rd down and 7.
3rd and long, Steve.
7 minutes, 16 seconds left here in the first half. We're tied at 14. There's a handoff. Right around the right side. Jackson Walker with the tackle. Slings him down. Gain of 2 on the play. So brings up 4th down.
I think they were planning on going for it all along, Steve.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I think this is 2-down territory. Well, I say that as the punt team comes out. Why do you call a run on 3rd and long like that unless you're going to go for it?
Yeah, I think they were maybe just trying to catch him looking for it. Now, I wouldn't put it past Lake Country for some sort of – this punter is ginormous. This may be the biggest punter I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
Good grief. This kid, 88, he's a – if that's who that is.
Well, I don't have his height there, Steve.
It's a fake pass. They threw it short here, snapped it short.
Don't catch it, please. Oh,
yeah,
dear
falls
God.
incomplete. Yeah, we did not want to catch that. You're right. Yeah, so Wright, the quarterback, was lined up as the up back. They snapped it short to Wright, and they tried a long pass downfield. Charlie Bunch dove, but fortunately he did not catch it. If he catches that, the Lions start back around their 25-yard line. So,
wow. Good stop there, and it looks like they were ready for it, though, Steve. That's a good thing.
So the little trick play out of the playbook there for the Eagles. But the Lions will start 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Again, tied at 14.
Sorry, folks, for getting so excited about not catching that ball. Sorry about that. I just didn't want to lose it.
6 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the first half. Hand off to Walker Little. Slides over to his left, drives right up the middle. A nice gain of about 7 on the play. Boy, you love to see that out of Walker.
Well, and that's what we're talking about, too. We've kind of flipped the script a little bit. Got to stop, and now we got some momentum going our way.
Well, I like that you mentioned they got Jace Walker in a slot receiver position. You can move him around on the field. They brought Walker in at the running back position, which gives them a different look. And like you said, Jack, kind of changing up that offensive look for the Lions.
What is Jensen's responsibility on that, Steve? Is he supposed to snap the ball if he sees somebody, or are they just supposed to wait it out?
I don't know. I've asked, and I can't remember what he said. There's a hit off to Walker up the middle, hit immediately, but he claws forward for maybe a yard.
God, you're worthless insider.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, he told me, and I just, I'm deaf in one ear and can't hear out of the other. So,
huh?
All right, 3rd down and 3, we'll call it.
So it's manageable, Steve.
Ball to 46
4 down territory. You're not going to punt it. I wouldn't think.
Hard count by Cosby. Eagles maintain their composure this time. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Plenty of time. Snap back to Cosby. Pass complete. Caught.
There he is. Jace Walker.
Jace Walker from that slot receiver position. Nice little quick in route there. A little slant route by Jace. Awesome season. Puts it right on the numbers, and the Lions now have a first down. Cannon Hunter coming in for Charlie Donovan. And they bring Jace back. So, again, kind of change the looks up. Bring Jace back into the running back position. Put Cannon in the slot position. Noah Smith and Charlie Bunch here on the near side. Walker Little and Cannon Hunter on the far side split out. Hand off to Jace right up the middle. Sidesteps a couple of guys, but then he's hit and slung down.
That seemed a little rough, Steve. Just kidding.
He tackled him. What is he doing? No gain on the play.
So far tonight, Steve, I've liked the offensive play calling. It seems to be not fast, but quicker than we have in the past. Movement of the players have been good. And actually, the execution has been good in the second quarter for sure, offensively.
Just over 4 minutes left here in the first half. Tied at 14. Lions second down and 9 from the Eagles' 32-yard line. Snap back to Cosby. Pass to the far side. Caught by Walker Little. That's out. Going to be just a couple of yards short. Out close to the 25-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 26. So it makes it a little more reasonable third down yardage. 3rd down and 3.
It's 3rd down.
Remember to text us at 817-980-7994. 817-980-7994. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you got any rooting interest, anybody on the Lions sideline you might be cheering for, we'd love to give you a shout out. Snap back to Cosby. Quick pass.
Oh, dear Lord.
Almost intercepted. Caught by Cannon Hunter. He's at the 5. He's going to take it in for the touchdown. Lions. No flags on the play.
Nice little series there, Steve.
Ooh. Boy, Jack.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
That was so close to an interception. But, man, Cosby put it where he needed to. Cannon with a nice reception.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to say anything about that, but it looks like he's got a little bit of lack of zip that he normally has on his ball. I wonder if there's something going on there.
Got it done. Got the job done.
Yep.
So the Lions, for the first time tonight, take the lead. Cade Johnson trying to make it a 7-point lead, and he does right down the middle.
Kind of moved the ball around a lot tonight, Steve. A lot of receivers catching balls.
Yep, nice little series and drive there by the Lions after the defense held on 4th down. Which is more scores from around the area here shortly. Braswell and Louisville tied at 7 in the first quarter. Liberty over West Plains 21-7 in the second quarter.
What's that Valley Mills score, Steve? I'm just kidding.
Throw me off. Kincaid and St. Mark's are scoreless, Jack. I know you were asking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Alito down 20-8.
Whoa.
Denton Ryan in the second quarter.
Oh, that's a big matchup.
Yeah. Be a good game.
Denton Ryan had that circled on the calendar for 12 months now.
Argyle up 49-7 over Everman in the second quarter.
I hate Everman.
Wow. Man, there's some history there, folks. We're going to have to get into that later in the second half.
Well, if they're playing the Colony, the extreme hatred for the Colony would come out. Sorry if anybody lives in the Colony.
Yeah,
that's listening to us
you're eliminating our viewership left and right. But like you said, Jack, don't worry about it. Nobody's listening anyway. So.
Yep.
All right, 3:15 left here in the first half. Lions take the lead for the first time tonight, 21-14 after a touchdown pass from Austin Cosby to Cannon Hunter. Cade Johnson with the kick. Taken at the 15, the basketball coach, Gene Topping, the new girls varsity basketball coach this year. Had a chance to sit down with him this week. Had a great interview and visit with him. And sometime in the third quarter, after we start the second half, we'll have the boys head varsity basketball coach, Matt Saman, up in the booth with us. Talk about the upcoming varsity season for the Lions. Right under center, scrambles to his right. Design rollout. Oh, falls incomplete. Receiver fell down. Good throw on the run there by Wright, but
yeah, he's got a pretty good arm. He's a pretty good little quarterback, that Wright.
Incomplete, second down.
I've got a pole right in my view here, Steve, so it's hard for me to see it when they're down deep.
Jack, you act like it's been there the whole game, like you're at Wrigley or something, and man, I can't see anything.
I didn't pay for a restricted view seat.
It's when if the ball moves 5 yards to your right or your left, you'll see perfectly.
I'm getting vertigo trying to switch back and forth between the pole here.
Close one eye, Jack. Just close one eye. Right under center. I formation. Hand off to the up back. He dives forward for a gain of about 4. Going to bring down a third down. Bring up a third down.
Well, I mean, this is what you wanted. Defensively, they look like they've got a little fire in their belly a little bit, Steve.
Yeah.
3rd and 6.
This would be great for the Lions here for the second drive in a row to hold them and force a 4th down situation.
And you got enough time on the clock to do something with it, Steve.
Yeah, clock running with 2.5, just inside of 2.5 left here in the first half. And Lions leading 21-14.
You really don't want them to score here since they're going to get the ball in the first half or second half kick.
Wright rolls to his right, chased by Jackson Walker.
Oh, man.
They almost get to him, and it is caught out over the 45-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down. Somehow they're finding that seam, Jack, right between the cornerback and the safety. And second important third down play in a row. The Eagles convert.
Yeah, it looked like Charlie Bunch kind of took a different line than he probably regrets now. He probably would have been able to come onto the outside, probably would have stopped that run by Wright.
Last week we talked about, we felt like
now you got to watch this clock. You got to make sure you string this out as long as you can.
Inside of 2 minutes. 2 receivers split to the near side, one on the far side with Wright in the shotgun formation. Snap back. He's looking to pass. Screen pass here to the up back. Penalty flag come flying in.
We're going to have a hold down here.
He's still on his feet. Finally, they take him down. There's another penalty flag coming in.
Goodness, that may be a face mask on us.
Yeah, Cannon Hunter got blocked in the back by number 14, but that was after the hold. So I think there's going to be 2 penalties on the Eagles. Hey, want to give a shout out to the great Mark and Sandy Job, watching from Grapevine, Texas, or wherever they are. They may be on an adventure somewhere, but Mark and Sandy, you clearly have nothing else to do on a Friday night. But we're glad you're watching.
I always like it when the umpire's facing the different direction than our team. So he's already facing that way to mark off the penalty.
Yeah, there was I think there was a hold initially, was with the initial flag, and then the back judge threw in a flag on a shot in the back on Cannon Hunter. So personal foul. Let's see here. Does he have a microphone? No, personal foul. Couldn't see what the
personal foul against Lake Country.
Maybe a crackback block or something. I couldn't tell what it was. But that's going to back the Eagles back to where this after their first down game, where this kind of this little drive, but this last series started.
Kind of starting all over again. First down and 10.
Minute 33 left here in the first half. Right under center, the I formation. 2 receivers to his right. Rolls to his right, still on his feet. He's going to keep it and run. Chased out of bounds. Good coverage in the secondary there by the Lions. They forced Wright to run it out of bounds.
This line judge kept walking up. They got a pretty good gain out of that, maybe like 6 yards.
Yeah, those receivers that were split on that far side took their defensive backs with them down the field quite a ways. Opened up quite a bit of running room for Wright, and he took advantage of it. 2nd down and 4. 1:26, the clock stopped. Lions leading 21-14 with 1:26 left here in the first half. 1 receiver split to each side. A couple of tight ends in the formation. I formation again for the Eagles. The Lions 46, and handoff up the middle. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Give him a gain of, call it a gain of 2. He gets just inside the 45-yard line.
This is where that fire in the belly needs to come out, Steve.
Nate Demarest on the tackle. Big Nate. Love hearing that. Getting to call his name.
Nate takes up some space in the middle. That's always good for the defensive line.
Yeah, he was at Faith a couple years ago, was out last year, and then back this year. His brother Ben, sister Giselle. So really glad to have the Demers family back here. Handoff up the middle. Still on his feet driving, and that's going to be enough for a first down. That's Wharton. Great April Wharton. And folks, we're always thankful and appreciative of our sponsors that we have that support Grapevine Faith. Reliant Air Conditioning and the Stewart family are proud supporters of Faith Christian School. Reliant Air Conditioning provides comfort to homeowners who don't want to be taken advantage of. Their service techs don't work on commission, and they don't use shady sales tactics. So call two other companies first, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning at 877-YOUR-HERO. You'll see why they've been gimmick-free since '83. I am a Reliant Air Conditioning customer. We walked in from a JV game last year, and water dripping from our ceiling. The plenum had frozen up, and yeah, that was fun. So I got to replace my air conditioning unit.
I'm so glad that I'm tight with Coach Estrada. He just put his butt in my face.
But I reached out to Jeff Stewart, and he had a crew out there the next morning, and we were set to go. 37 seconds left here in the first half. Lions leading 21-14. This is kind of like having to go down a submarine on this tower. The coaches from up top. There's the right back to pass.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Pocket collapse as he finally trips up, falls down.
I'm sure that's not the play that Coach White's wanted coming out of a timeout.
No, that is not what they roll up. Good pressure there by the defensive front by the Lions. They force right. Eagles take another timeout. Jeff Kropholler says, nice to hear the dynamic duo back together. He was listening last week. Jeff, great to have you listening, buddy. Praying for a quick recovery for Cade. Lions will face the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals in their last district game, the last district game of the season in November. Next week is district opener for the Lions at home against All Saints. I'd say they've got their hands full, Jack. Coming down.
Oh, no, you're good.
Eagles just use their second timeout. Get 25 seconds left here in the first half. Lions leading 21-14. Lions have all three of their timeouts remaining. And the Eagles just have one remaining to use their second of the half.
No, I didn't see any Frito pie at the concession stand, Steve, but they have some cheeseburgers going.
Well, they built this beautiful facility here on the west end zone.
Not quite done yet, I don't think.
And it is not done. Yeah, it's got Walker Engineering has not gone in there to complete and give it the overview and give it the once-over. Once that's done, they can open up that end zone concession stand.
Well, you got to get in there and get some 11-7 C's in there.
Lots of time right looking to pass. Throws it up. Just intercepted. Intercepted by Cannon Hunter inside the 10-yard line. So a big turnover there by the Eagles. Kind of threw it up for grabs. Wright had good protection. And with 16 seconds left, Jack, maybe he just thought,
Aaron's got him.
If we throw it deep, we're going to have if it's intercepted, we're going to essentially have a punt, or we might get some sort of pass interference call. So,
well, you got to be careful this deep in your territory, Steve, this late in the quarter. But I understand where you're going with this one.
16 seconds left here in the first half. Lions leading 21-14. The Eagles will get the opening kickoff to start the second half. Austin Cosby is going to take a knee. And both teams are going to let that run out. So, folks, we are going to stay here for the Lionettes and the Grapevine Faith cheerleaders performances, and then we will go to our Stories of Faith. So if you are wanting to see the halftime performance of the Lionettes and the Grapevine Faith cheerleaders, you will be able to see that in its entirety. And then we will bring you the interview, Stories of Faith interview with Coach Topping. It's Stamp Out Cancer, Breast Cancer Awareness Night here at the Eagle Stadium. Lots of pink around. Grapevine Faith cheerleaders with their pink pom-poms. So our halftime score, Grapevine Faith Lions 21, Eagles 14. And we'll be back after halftime. Again, we're going to bring you the Lionettes and the Lions cheerleaders, and then we'll cut to the Stories of Faith. You're watching Grapevine Faith football here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network.
Spouses are Captain Reagan Van Til, Chaplain Ella Armstrong, Social Officer Ruby Clark, and Lionette of the Week is awarded to Ella Armstrong. The Lionettes will now entertain you with their palm routine. The Grapevine Faith Lioness. Please welcome to the field, Grapevine Faith cheer team. Cheer.
It's halftime of the Lions-Eagles game. Here it's time for our Stories of Faith. We love the opportunity to tell the inspiring stories of the people of Grapevine Faith Christian School, and Stories of Faith gives us that platform to be able to do that. And this week, I get the privilege of sitting down with Coach Gene Topping, and I'm excited because, like me, you've probably seen Coach Topping around campus or on the sideline, but he's kind of flown below the radar. But we're going to pull the curtain back and get to know him this week. And so, Coach, thank you so much for your time and sitting down with me.
Thank you for having me.
You've taken on some additional responsibilities here at Grapevine Faith, which we'll talk about in a second. But first, tell us about where you grew up, where you went to school, all that good stuff.
I grew up or was born in Newport Beach, California. I was adopted at 3 days old.
Wow.
My brother, Marshall, actually picked me out, my parents' natural son. Tom and Carol, Gene Topping, raised me and had me in Southern California. And we moved from Northern to Southern California.
So you grew up there, went to high school. I think you told me south of Yosemite High School there.
I graduated from Yosemite High School in Oakhurst, California, we lived in Bass Lake, which is just south of Yosemite National Park.
What sports did you play growing up?
Played a lot of them: soccer, baseball, football, played a little bit of everything. But once I got to high school, football really took over. I worked for my father.
Okay.
And he drag raced the NHRA circuit. And so I worked as a diver, changing rods and pistons in between rounds. And so I wasn't allowed to play the winter spring sports. I had to travel with the race team. So I did a lot of that in my teenage years. Yeah.
So I know after you graduated high school, you had several college experiences and played some football and some basketball. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I played at Fresno City College. I played football there for 2 years. Graduated and played at Morehead State University for 2 years. Once I graduated from there with my BA, I came home and was playing pickup basketball and got talked into playing junior college basketball, which I was shocked. I didn't think I would be eligible, but I guess in junior college, as long as you don't repeat a sport, you can play it at any time.
Interesting.
So if you wanted to play golf right now, you could. You could go sign up and play junior college. So while I was working on my master's, I played basketball for 2 years as well.
So tell us a little about your family. I know you and your wife had some kiddos, and y'all. You told me that y'all met. Y'all were neighbors. So tell me about your family. And
Corey and Lexi, those are my wife's first two children from our first marriage. I also had two from a prior, and so we have 4 total kids. And then we got married, and we decided that we were going to have 3 more. So we have a total of 7.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Only 2 left in the house, though.
Okay. Everybody else do they live close, or y'all still within proximity?
Well, one's in Missouri, one's in Tennessee, 2 are in California. So we're a little bit spread out.
Yeah.
They're older. One is married and has kids of her own. So I'm a grandparent for the first time.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Hey, I'm a grandparent, too. That's what I lead with.
Yep.
I mean, forget the kids. I'm a granddad, right?
I'm a granddad.
That's awesome. So you've been coaching football here for a number of years, but this year you took a role of head coach for the girls' varsity basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't your first rodeo coaching girls' basketball.
No.
So you coach select. Tell us a bit about that experience.
So the
young men and women, the teachers and coaches, and I know that you've had an opportunity, a lot of conversations with athletes and students over the years. I'm curious, what do you think, from your standpoint, what are the biggest challenges facing kids these days?
Man, there's a lot of distractions, and I think expectations based off a lot of those distractions. Social media. In our day and age, it was magazines are influencing what people should look like or how they should. And now you have social media, and I think it's tenfold now.
Yeah.
And the pressures that these kids are under, and things are way more organized than they were when we played.
Tell us about, if you don't mind, just share a little bit about your faith journey with us.
My faith journey has always started real young, and for some reason, the Lord has protected me in one way or another. One, being adopted at 3 days old, to always having family members or friends of the family bring me to church or bring me closer. And so here at Faith Christian School, it just fell in line with how we live as a family.
Well, there's a strong history here of success on the basketball court for the girls team under Coach Altheed and then Coach Garrett. But I know you've taken the reins over now. So what kind of culture you kind of establish here, and what should we expect from the Grapevine Faith girls team?
Well, the first thing with the culture is our numbers are really low. And so we have a "we want you" mentality. We're seeking, looking for, wanting anyone willing and come help our program right now. Trying to rebuild a strong culture, and that's already been in existence here.
Yep.
That's where we're at.
Well, I know with limited numbers at times, you kind of have to adjust your style of offense and your play accordingly. But what can we expect to see this year? Is it a run and gun? Is it more of a kind of slow set, half court type offense? What should we expect to see?
You're going to see what's going to work. You're going to see us play to the strengths, which is our inside presence. However, we do have good shooting presence from the perimeter. So you're going to see probably a more team-oriented type play as far as just trying to win games. And what I mean by that, we are trying to develop talent, not necessarily win games right away. We have to rebuild the culture. We have to rebuild the program.
Sure.
So we have to develop talent.
Coach, I know you've had lots of coaching experience at different levels. But there's going to be people watching this that might be looking for a private Christian school for their kids and their family. From where you are, what makes Grapevine Faith so unique and so special?
The family environment, the brotherhood, the sisterhood that comes with it. Academically, it's second to none. Our food service, it blows me away every day. We have 2 chefs on campus, and the quality of food that the kids are eating on a daily basis is outstanding. But you want kids to have a Christian experience and some sort of guidance, and this is an outstanding place for that.
You're the first person that's ever mentioned food as a win. So man, but that's important, right? There's so much junk out there the kids eat for lunch.
You have to eat every day.
Yeah,
the food is outstanding.
That's awesome. Well, to your point though, the focus here is developing and graduating authentic Christian leaders, and so love hearing that reinforced. I don't want to miss the opportunity to congratulate you guys on a much well-earned, hard-fought win Friday night against Atlas, and that had to be a big morale boost for the team and for the coaches.
Amazing. Winning isn't always in wins and losses. There's a lot of things that we can improve from that game, but even some of the games that we were close to winning but didn't quite win, there were a lot of successes in there, and so Coach Holland's doing an outstanding job with the kids, and we're heading in the right direction for sure.
Well, I know that it's not just about X's and O's. I know that your ability to impact the lives of young men and women is important. What type of impact would you like to leave? I mean, maybe your legacy, if you will, or what type of impact? When people look back on the days when Gene Toppin was at Grapevine Faith, what would you like for them to say that, hey, this type of impact that he had on my kid?
Our discipleship. I mean, ultimately, you just want these kids to grow to be successful leaders, Christian leaders, authentic leaders. That's the school's motto. But also, I think if I can help these kids balance their life with, their dimensions of wellness in life, that's going to be something we're going to talk about a lot this year, and deep soul search for each individual kid.
Well, Grapevine Faith is special, unique for a lot of reasons, but most importantly because of the people like Gene Toppin that speak into and pour into our kids. So, Coach, we're just so thankful that you're here. If you'd like to find out more information about Grapevine Faith Christian School, you can visit us at grapevinefaith.com. to set up a visit or to get more information. So, Coach, thank you for the impact that you've already had and continue to have on the lives of young men and women. Faith is a better place because you're here. We're just appreciative of the time today, so thank you so much.
I appreciate you having me.
That's our Stories of Faith this week with Coach Gene Toppin. Be sure to check him out and the girls basketball team this year in the fall. And the second half of your Lions against the Eagles is coming up next on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network.
Go Lions.
Welcome back to Eagle Stadium here on the campus of Lake Country Christian School, here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network. Eagles trailing your Grapevine Faith Lions 21-14 as we finish up halftime. Hopefully you had a chance to see the performance by the Lionettes and the Grapevine Faith cheerleaders. And then our Stories of Faith with Coach Gene Topping this week. Really appreciate his time coming and sitting down with me. Getting to hear, they've got 7 kids, Jack. I don't know if you heard that or not. You probably did. You're about to fall off, Jack. You're making me nervous. Hold on.
Real quick, so we run through real fast on
Sorry, Jack, I had your mic off.
Okay. Grapevine Faith.
You're on.
12 of 21 from the air, 154 yards passing, 50 yards rushing. Average starting spot, 35-yard line. Time of possession, 10:29.
You still talking, Jack?
No, I stopped. Stopped talking a long time ago. Faith is about to kick it off.
Sorry, I'm fixing our electrical stuff up here. Yeah, so kickoff by Faith. 7-yard line, cuts back up towards the middle of the field. Big hit there at the 20-yard line. So nice coverage there. Robbie Stevens in on the tackle along with number 27, Hudson Smith. We called Hudson's name a few times tonight. He's the holder for the place kicker.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, Steve, I'm going to rank quarter number 2 as our best quarter so far, and quarter number 1 is our worst. Okay?
First down, Eagles at the 21-yard line.
Are you paying attention?
I'm with you. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yes.
I was just having fun here.
I would agree with that.
I think Coach Saman's ready to come up. Where did he want? He's ready. You want to come up? Yeah.
Getting the trap door here in our. Going to visit with the great Matt Saman, head varsity basketball coach for the Lions. Eagles 1st and 10 from their own 20. Handoff.
Goodness gracious!
Still on his feet. Well, this is. That big running back out over the 35-yard line, gain of about 15 yards. Easy, coach. It's not easy getting up here. So the Lions defense, no doubt they had some discussion at halftime first about the
hey.
Put that on, Coach.
Well, you guys don't understand how tight these quarters are around here, but we've got
I'll turn the camera on us here
6,
so you can see us.
7 people trying to get around here. And how poor on athletic these elder gentlemen are, like Aaron Estrada. He's not very athletic anymore.
1st and 10, right back to pass. Reception made, out over the 40, getting out close to midfield, inside of Lion territory. And that's going to bring a first down for the Eagles. So we bring in the great Matt Saman, head basketball coach for the boys at Grapevine Faith. Coach, thanks for coming up for a few minutes.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, man.
This is fun, man.
Well, so there's a connection here, and I think I mentioned it. If I didn't mention it earlier in the pregame or earlier in the game, Matt's lovely wife, Miss Jana Saman, is the athletic director here at Lake Country. Now, here's my question. I don't know where you guys live. But, man, the drive, like as a crow flies, it's 13 miles.
So we live in Hearst.
Holy cow.
If you get on the highway at the right time, it's not that bad. But tonight, on a Friday night, it's the wrong time.
Man, sure. Well, and again, to be fair, anywhere in Dallas-Fort Worth or big city on a Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock is hard. But anyway, well, man, let's talk about the fun stuff. There we go. Let's talk about the fun stuff, man. You guys got. It's interesting because basketball is not just a winter sport anymore. It's year-round, and I know for you, man, played in college. We'll get to that here in a second. But just you got to be excited for basketball to start up. The season starts November 2nd. Do I have that date right or am I off on that?
November 1st is our first game. Practice starts October 21st, so we're not that far away.
Jack, I may have you hand if you don't mind.
Let's do that.
Yeah, it's not a great. We got a lapel mic.
Oh, wow.
On Coach Saman.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so much better. Sorry about that, Coach. So all right, November 1st, you guys start up, and when does like your first? Because you obviously have non-district play first. Do you have any scrimmages ahead of time? Like what you'll have like a big blowout where the fans come out and you kind of open up like opening day or whatever? What does that look like?
We're talking about maybe doing something with kind of like a Midnight Madness, but maybe earlier in the day, just to kind of get some excitement to start. But our first scrimmage is going to be Monday the 28th, and we got John Paul II, big 6A TAP school come into Faith to scrimmage. That'll be really great. And then we go to Laredo for a tournament that weekend. Some of the best private schools in the state are down there at that. It's our first time to be invited to it, so really excited about that.
Wow. And that's, did you get the 28th? Is that October 28th? So right before the season starts?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
right before that November 1st start. Awesome. You had a few guys graduate. JP was one notable big, tall senior last year. I know was a big contributor for you. Who are some of the guys you're leaning on this year? Who should we be keeping an eye out for on the team?
We definitely had a special senior class graduate. Guys that just, again, love the Lord, worked really hard, great teammates. And so those are hard to replace. But from that last year's team, we've got Brennan Bird, Chase Leslie, Landon Harlan that are really coming back from that group. All three of those guys are really talented basketball players, but also love the program and the culture, and are, I think, doing a great job this fall, bringing it along and taking it from where the other guys were. But then, with some younger players coming up that are really good, and really 8 seniors. We have an amazing senior group this year, and a lot of them have been in the program for years. And then we do have one kid. It's my first time at Faith to ever have a senior transfer in over the summer, and his name's Mason Barnett, and he's played at Kingdom Collegiate the last 3 years. And I mean, we're blessed to have him at our school at one, because he's a great kid, again, strong believer, great leader, but he can play. So you add all of these guys together, some really talented young players. It is at the gym right now, and it's really fun to be in there.
Well, Eagles here are on a drive, maintaining some nice running plays. They've kind of mixed some things up. Visiting with head coach Matt Saman, varsity boys basketball coach here at Grapevine Faith. Coach, I know growing up, you started a video series that you, I don't know if you use it kind of as your own recruiting tool, but you titled it Jamodi, and then the Jamodi workout, which is, I won't spoil the surprise of what that stands for, but it's an acronym. But you've used it, brought it in Faith, and y'all do contests and competitions. Y'all have got belts that all sorts of stuff that really drive the guys to excel and kind of outperform each other. Talk about that Jamodi workout, what it means, and kind of what's meant to the program.
Yeah, Jamodi's been pretty cool for our culture, and we've used it in different ways over the years. But culture isn't just one thing, one experience, one meeting, one this. It's 1,000 little things that you do throughout the day, throughout the year. And that's just one of the things, but it stands for just a matter of doing it. I learned it in 7th grade at a camp. This coach just kept saying, hey, don't worry about it, it's Jamodi. And finally a kid had the guts to ask, what does that mean? And he said, just a matter of doing it. So I've kind of brought it on as a personal mantra in my life with my own workouts early on as a player, and then in the coaching world, even getting deeper into it, like what does Jamodi actually mean? Because as adults, we know it's not as easy as just a matter of doing it. There's a lot more to it.
So I mentioned your wife is the athletic director here, and you guys met kind of in a serendipitous way. You want to tell us a little bit about that, a little about Jana and the family?
Oh, I would love to tell this story. This is one of my favorite things. After playing at Baylor, made some wrong choices in my life that kind of took me down a path and really turned my back a little bit on the faith that I'd grown up knowing and being part of. And then complete God thing. He never let me go and kept tugging on my heart to get back into church, but I was not really, I was in kind of an angry place. And so I just went to a random church on a Saturday or on a Sunday morning that I didn't even attend. I drove by it all the time, so I was like, I've heard of it, I'll go there in Plano. And I filled out the visitor card, threw it in the plate, not thinking anything of it. On the visitor card, I said, I'm angry and I have questions. But I'd grown up going to church, and I've never been a visitor, so I didn't know really how that all worked, if I'd ever hear from anybody. And so fast forward, I get an email from a lady. She says, hey, come on in and talk to our pastor. Works with me to get a time. She opens the door for me, lets me in, talks with me, and then I talk to the pastor, tell him my whole story, and he says, Matt, you got to give up control. You took control of your life, your happiness, all these things. Look where it got you. I was like, man, that's a really good call. And
he wasn't wrong.
So, no, surrendered again. And then kind of in a little way got her number, that lady's number that let me in. And I mean, but it really, and that was Jana. We talked for 3 days straight, not 3 days straight, but about 13 hours over 3 days, and was really kind of just from a friend start, but then it blossomed into something more, and where like it didn't take long for us to realize this is who we're supposed to be with, and we were married within a year. But the crazy thing to me is if I don't fill out the card, if I don't put that in, if God's not tugging on my heart to go to that church that day and not giving up on me there, then I don't meet her. And so I joke with players or athletes like, listen, like just go to church. God has your wife there waiting, and maybe that's true. For me it was, but I wasn't going there looking for that. Meeting her is the second best thing that's ever happened in my life versus what Christ did for me on the cross.
Well, I think everybody can relate to that. How many times you go to church, you're just visiting, you're like, man, I'm not going to fill out the card. I don't want anybody reaching out to me. And man, but you were vulnerable and honest. And hey, man, I'm mad and I got questions. I'm angry and I got questions. And like you said, God used it to introduce you to your future wife. So, man, how long you been? How many years at Faith?
So this is year 12, and we've been married for almost 13 years. So you kind of go back to that where I'm coaching at McKinney High School. This radical life shift and Jana coming into my life happens, and then all of a sudden my eyes start to open to, okay, Lord, like what's next for me? I've been at McKinney High School for 5 years. I think I want to be a head coach, and all these public school jobs were open up, and I never felt like I should go for those. Like, in fact, I took my name out of McKinney Boyd, like some big jobs in McKinney that I think I could have had. And people were telling me, like, that's a huge mistake, Matt. Like, don't turn down 6A public school jobs, and as a 30-year-old. And then I decided not to look for any, and a coaching buddy of mine called and said, have you ever heard of Grapevine Faith Christian School? And I said, no. Where is that? What is that? And they're like, it's a private school. It's in Grapevine. Man, go online, check it out. And I read the mission for this school and what it stands for, and I got, like, punched in the gut. And I called that guy back. I was like, man, I'm really interested in this. I didn't think I was going to be doing anything, but let's go. And before going up to the interview, and I know I'm talking too much here, but
no, you're good. Hey, that's why you're here.
Before going to I'm sitting outside the Dallas Road School, never gone through a head coaching interview. I had my packet with all my basketball stuff, but I have a past, and like a lot of us do. And even though that it was in the rear view mirror, I thought, okay, what do I tell these guys? Do I come up and try to just be like, I'm perfect and I have everything figured out and God's doing amazing things in my life, but I never struggled, or do I tell the truth? And I was listening to a podcast from Gateway, but it wasn't Robert Morris at the time. It was just another pastor that was there. And the guy stops his talk and he says, we have to stop giving edited testimonies. They do nothing for no one.
Wow.
And I was like, got it. I went in there, and it was Dr. Potts, Dr. Smith, John Brooks, Chris Hogan, Coach Hogan, those four sitting there. I said, fellas, listen, I don't know what I'm supposed to say here, but I'm just going to tell you the whole story. And so I basically told them all those things, and from college to making those mistakes and then God finding me again, I feel, or pulling me back in, and then Jan in my life and how I feel like I'm supposed to be here. And I'll never forget Coach Hogan, who hired me, called me that night and said, listen, I don't know if you're going to get this job, but I feel like God's going to do amazing things in your life. That was really cool that he did that. Wow. And it always reminded me, like, if I interact with somebody, even if it doesn't work out going the way that maybe they wanted or whatever, like to give them like something like that that's encouraging, and if you feel it. But anyway, 12 years, my son started here as a first grader, and he's a senior now. Can't imagine him being anywhere else, and just really, really grateful, I think, to be a part of this place, this community. Excited for the season, but great kids.
Well, a big part of your testimony, I know, is your time in college. Played college basketball at Baylor, my alma mater.
Nice.
Sycamore Bears. And but you were there at a very crucial time, and without going into all the details, you wrote a book called The Leftovers. And I've read that.
Thanks,
and,
man.
And passed it along to my kids. And it's just such an amazing story of God's redemptive love, how he can take a really awful, awful situation and use it for his glory to promote himself, draw people to him. Tell us a little bit about the book. I know it's available. I think it's on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, easiest way is to find it on Amazon. And I appreciate you bringing that up. I didn't ask him to do that. I graduated from Baylor in 2004. Yeah, if I see one extra sale, I'll know where it came from. No, I don't see those. But I think played at Baylor from 2000 to 2004 and was recruited by Dave Bliss. Played for him for 3 years, almost 100 games. And going into my senior year during the summer, found out that one of my teammates had shot and killed one of my other teammates. And the coaching staff that I had worked for were doing a lot of wrong right in front of me. I never knew that. And so my whole and this is where when I get to talk to athletes or students in general is I created this false theology of if I live a good life and try to say and do the right things, God, like a genie, will do whatever I want and make it happen. But then all of a sudden, He will do whatever I want and make it happen. But then all of a sudden, my program falls apart. This dream of basketball is shattered, and I completely turn my back on the faith that I'd grown up with, that my family, had. And when Coach Drew comes in as a 32-year-old, we have 6 scholarship players to play a full Big 12 schedule, and he's walking in going like, guys, listen, we're going to build something for the future, a foundation that like future teams will think. And I'm just sitting there going like, we're not going to win a game. Like we're going to be. I was one of the stars of the team, and I wasn't a star. And so,
because so many people, you were one of the few guys that stayed. Everybody else had transferred, right?
I was the only senior that had been there for 4 years. There were only 2 other seniors, but they had just come recently. So 6 players to play against Kansas, Texas, OU, and they have All-Americans on their teams. So, just to make it a quick story, we end up losing a lot at the beginning, and it's really hard. Coach Drew just works a miracle within our team. It was one of the best team-building examples I've ever witnessed. He gets us. We weren't allowed to play in postseason if we had been really good. He gets us to play together and trust each other, and we end up beating some teams. Like we beat A&M. For all you A&M fans, we beat them twice, and we weren't supposed to win a Big 12 game. Their coach got fired the day after we beat them the second time.
Oh wow!
Because that's like the worst thing you could do.
Right, lose to Baylor.
Twice. But you fast forward 20 years later when they're winning the national championship, and Fran Fraschilla talks about it being the greatest turnaround in sports history. Like, I'm sitting there on the couch with Jana, holding her hand, getting emotional because I'm a really small part of that.
Well,
and there's a ton of other players that are too.
Sure.
But in the moment, and that's what it's fun to talk to players about this, because when you're going through the storm, you don't see how it could ever be good. Like, what good could come of this? But then when you're out of it and you look back, you see how faithful he was, and you get to be maybe a part of something.
Well, I love that. It's an amazing read. Really, very biographical, autobiographical from Matt's standpoint about all the events that took place, and really unfortunate situation. But like you said, to be a part of now, 20 years later, is a national championship. You couldn't give that job away. And Scott Drew came in and took it.
Yeah,
and you couldn't pay. They thought he was crazy. But what he is, I know you're very close with him to this day. And
I didn't know who he was when they hired him.
Yeah,
they said Scott Drew from Valpo. I was like, "Where's that and who's that?" So yeah.
Well, folks, we talked about how special Grapevine Faith Christian School is, and it's special because of the people, and especially because of people like Coach Matt Saman, and encourage you to obviously come out, support the boys varsity basketball and the girls varsity basketball team. We talked to Coach Topping at halftime today, but also the boys team this year. Come out and watch some basketball, support the Lions basketball program. And if you have an interest in learning more about Grapevine Faith Christian School, go to grapevinefaith.com and set up an opportunity to visit, get to know us, get a little more information. We'd love for you to be able to get more information about Grapevine Faith and potentially come for a visit. So, Coach, man, we really appreciate it. It was tough getting up here, man. Be careful going down.
If my back goes out on the way down, I know I'm sending it to my wife.
I was going to say, who's the AD
she'll get
here?
the bill.
So, yeah.
Thank you for having me on,
Coach.
and I hope people do come out and watch, because it is a special team. It's going to be really fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be great this year. So come out and watch the Lions basketball program under Coach Matt Saman. Coach, again, we really appreciate the time, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
Coach Matt Saman of Grapevine Faith Christian School. So we are 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Lions still lead 21-14. There's been a little bit of back and forth. As you've been watching, we visited with Coach Saman. Appreciate his time tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad he finally got done because
Because there was a lot of calls coming in from Oak Hills nursing home looking for me. So I just want everybody to know
Jack,
that.
Everybody, the nursing home crowd that's the big fans of Jack, don't worry. He's still here. We didn't fire him yet. Operative word is yet. Right looking to pass. He's taken down. Big sack there by the Lions defensive front. Austin Odette on the sack. Finally got it. He's been after him. Beckett Reese coming in the game. But, yeah, it was great visiting with Coach Saman. Yeah, make it out to support the Lions. I want to say to Jody and Mike Rogers watching from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Go Austin.
Beaver Dam, Wisconsin.
And Ailey Demarest. Talked about Big Nate, the nose tackle for the Lions. Ailey Demarest is Nate's dad. He's at a work trip up in Minnesota, I think. I'll get back to his comment here in a second. Here's right, little draw play. Big run. Cuts back up the middle. Out close to midfield. That is really close to a first down. He might have enough there.
Yeah, that's a backbreaker.
Yeah, they look like they had him on the ropes there and a chance to get the ball back, and if they could hold him, that's first down for the Eagles.
You know, Steve, I don't know what Lake Country talked about in the locker room, but they probably talked about just rushing the ball against us. Let's see, 9 rushes so far in the second half to only 2 passes.
I was going to say they've hardly even put the ball up in the air, have they?
Nope.
So another tight formation, I formation with right under center. 2 receivers on the far side. Right looking to pass. A little pump fake. Just gets away from the defender. Cannon Hunter on the defense there. Knocks the ball down. Falls incomplete.
That was a little close to being pass interference the way that approach. But when you throw the ball up like that, it's kind of fair game to anybody. Right, Steve?
Yep. Jackson Walker in there with the pressure. Almost took right down, and he slid around it, but Jackson popped back up. It's like his brother, man. He is feisty, and he's hard to block.
I know you were talking to Coach Samans, but that first drive for Lake Country took 5.5 minutes off the clock, and then didn't result in anything for those guys, which is also good for us.
Lions defense here on second down and 10. Ball at the 49-yard line of the Eagles. Another I formation. Man in motion here to the near side. There's a handoff right up the middle. Still on his feet, still churning.
This is the same
big number
thing.
16, Antonio Hernandez, the sophomore running back.
This is the same. You weren't around, but this is the same kind of scenario for the Cistercian game, Steve, when they just started gutting the middle of the ball of the field for us. Saw something in the running game and kept going at it.
Hernandez is listed at 5'11", 160. There's no way. That kid looks every bit of almost 200 pounds, and he looks taller than 5'11". See what the Eagles dial up here on first down.
I have a question for you, Steve, whenever we have a moment.
Ball at the Lions' 41-yard line. Another handoff. Drives up the middle of the field. Hit by Pride of Lions at about the 37-yard line.
Have you not done a Stories of Faith with Coach Samans? I thought you had, right?
I did, yep. We did.
I was about to tell you, maybe you should talk to him on the Stories of Faith.
It was well, we did it when we were on Mixler only. This was before we were doing video.
Okay.
It was the audio only portion we were doing Mixler, and visited with him. That's been 3 years ago. But I thought, I'm sorry, Jack, you give your headphones up. Is that why you're bitter?
No. I think his story was fascinating. That's why I was wondering why we hadn't done it. But
it's pretty amazing.
I know
man.
you're always looking for Stories of Faith. So.
Yep. That Leftovers book is really unbelievable. I mean, that was just incredibly tragic events, not only at Baylor, but impacted the Waco community.
Yeah.
Second down and 6 here. Time winding down here in the third quarter. Right back to pass. Has a man open across the middle of the field. It's caught.
Golly.
He breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. He goes to the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Eagles. Several missed tackles there by the Lions.
I mean, that ball was floated up like it was just like a 3-year-old throwing the ball up in the air. And we couldn't do anything about it.
Well, we talked about some key injuries, one of those being Christian Corley, a safety, the senior, a lot of experience that he brings. And that knee injury, he's out, and so they're definitely missing him tonight. Eagles kickers on to try to tie this game up, and they do.
You know, that like I said earlier, they took 5 minutes off that clock earlier. They just took 4 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock there. I mean, they're just going to grind it out on the ground.
Jack, we got a request that your nursing home folks wanted to see your lovely face, your chop, so wanted to. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you wonder what Jack Wharton looks like. There really is a Jack Wharton.
Yeah.
He's not just some, mystic figure that dials in. We put him on over the phone.
Yeah, I noticed that last week. Your son had a lot more energy than I did. So,
hey, you might want to talk to Barry Irwin. He was very complimentary of Brooks. Brooks had some.
No, I thought he was great. I listened to
homework,
it for 3 hours on my way back. Yeah. What are you Wait, what kind of compliment is that? That's a dig on Jack.
He was prepared. Barry's prepared and had a lot of stats.
Oh,
I kid.
Okay, Barry. We're just Barry Irwin.
Having fun here. Having fun here now.
Yeah.
So 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. We've got a tie ball game. Again, this is the last non-district game for both teams. Next week, the Lions host Fort Worth All Saints, and a big ask.
I was talking about it before the game too. Man, we got such a young lineup out there, and almost at all times. Man, get some good experience for next year.
Yeah, man, it's a big ask for the defense next week against an incredibly talented and very large Fort Worth All Saints. I think one of their linemen, defensive linemen, one of their linemen, offensive defense, already has a commitment to TCU. All right, Eagles to kick off. Have a little pooch kick. Fair catch called for and made by Charlie Bunch at the 35-yard line, where the Lions will take over 1st and 10. A few scores from around the area. Hebron up over Marcus, Flower Mound Marcus 24-6 at halftime. Geyer over Coppell 10-7.
Whoa.
Richardson over Irving in the third quarter, 86-0.
No.
86-0. Richardson over Irving.
My goodness. Richardson was never that good.
South Lake Carroll up 24-14 over Keller at halftime. Get you some tap scores here momentarily. So Lions 1st and 10 from their own 35. Again, tied at 21. 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Cosby looking to pass. Pass here to the near side to Jace Walker. Caught, cuts back towards the. Then stays on the sideline. Stays inbounds.
Nice.
Gets inside of Eagles territory. Man, he is so difficult to tackle, Jack. He's so shifty.
Yep.
And really hard to bring down.
I could almost see the way he was going to move to the inside on that play.
First down line.
Nice little pass and catch there from Austin Cosby to Jace Walker. I love the way they're using him, and they'll split him out as a slot receiver. He's in the backfield right now. Got a lot of uses for him. There's a handout. They'll play action. Cosby looking to pass. Ooh, almost intercepted. Intended for Noah Smith. And tipped.
Odd selection there. You got double coverage down the field, but kind of forced to hit it over here because he had rolled out here to his left.
Lubbock Christian. That's not Lubbock Trinity Christian. This is Lubbock Christian that's in Lake Country's district. They're up 48-0 over Brownfield at halftime.
Oh, the Cubs.
Bishop Dunn down to Regents 28-13 in the third quarter. Parish
Dunn.
Episcopal up 49-7 over Nolan Catholic. Second down play. Pass here to the near side. Caught by Charlie Donovan. Cuts back towards the middle field. Back here towards the sideline. Stacked up. Gets just inside the 45-yard line. So that's going to bring up a third down and should be second down. No, it is third down. That's going to be into the third quarter. So we go to the fourth quarter tied at 21. A couple more scores. Brook Hill and Grace Community out in Tyler, both tied at 14 in the third quarter. Heritage Christian up 56-39 over Wiley Prep at halftime in a big shootout there. A few more shout-outs. My sister Susan and her husband Ricky listening all the way from Big Whitney, Texas. And they say go Lions and go number 62. Jensen's aunt and uncle. Thanks for listening. Yeah, Jeff Croppola, we appreciate that screenshot, man. We've our mothers have told us and our wives have told us that we have a face for radio. So we'll try to keep us off the camera as much as we can. Although Jack's his fan club, they do want to see him from time to time. Make sure we're not just propping him up and moving him around like a marionette. So
got a signing up in Dickens tomorrow. I've got from
at the Academy?
10 a.m. No, it's a Tips beverage store from 10 to 10:15 in the morning up in Dickens. So if you're in that area, swing by. Buy your lunch over at the Ponderosa tomorrow afternoon as well.
Oh, my gosh. Third down here for the Lions. 3rd down and 6, we'll call it. Snap back to Cosby. Look at the pass. Chased out of the pocket. Rolls yours to his right. Hit right after he throws. Caught by Charlie Bunch. He's inside the 5. Oh! Just shy of the goal line. Well, Austin was popped, but he stayed in there, got a pass off to Charlie Bunch, and Charlie's still down. Kind of fell awkwardly. I think it may have knocked the wind out of him. Jackie looked like he kind of fell down on the football.
You hope it's not serious, but saw that game against the Giants. The Giants had the Thursday night game, and the guy fell down on the ball in his lower region, and he was out of breath for a couple minutes after he made the catch. So I'm hoping that's not what happened here.
Well, you've been waiting 2 weeks to share that story, haven't you, Jack?
Well, it made me think about it. Sorry about that.
It's like just back to my junior high days. I got a story to share. There's a penalty flag.
I don't know if they called.
Yeah, there's a penalty on the
coming back, so it must have been a hold.
Oh, man, that's going to negate a great pass and catch from Cosby to Charlie Bunch.
It's against the Lions.
What'd they call?
I think they called a hold. They backed it up 10 yards, so ball's at just shy of the 50-yard line, still in the Eagles' territory.
Some of the Lake Country fans are getting a little bit rowdy over there and yelling at the refs. I can hear them all the way over here.
3rd and 11 here for the Lions. Walker Little in the game in the backfield. They move Jace to the slot position. Charlie Donovan and Cannon Hunter on the far side. Noah Smith and Jace Walker here on the near side.
Kind of in no man's land here, Steve. I think you're probably in 2-down territory.
Just inside of 10 seconds on the play clock. 11:49. Clock stopped here in the fourth quarter. Tied at 21. They do get the snap off. Cosby looking to pass. He's looking deep. He's got Jace wide open. Oh, just out of his reach.
He was wide open.
He had 3 steps on the defender.
Yep.
And just by 1 step, that ball was just overthrown. Good pass by Austin, but just out of his reach.
Punt team coming out, Steve. I guess he's not really in no man's land.
Yep.
Probably thought we're going to think about going for it there.
Luella and Bob Wallace watching from Corpus Christi.
Oh, Buccaneer days is probably going on down there in Corpus Christi.
Buccaneer days?
Yeah, Buccaneers days. Good times down there in Corpus.
So it's the guy playing the music. This is reminiscent of last week against Atlas, where in the middle of plays we had music going off. It was unbelievably distracting and annoying. Still on his feet, finally driven out of bounds. Ryan White's on the return. So Eagles out of the shadow of their goalpost, out over the 30-yard line to start their next drive. Again, we are tied at 21, 11 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the game. Lions led at halftime 21-14, and Eagles scored on their first possession of the second half, and we remain knotted throughout the third quarter.
The defense is really going to have to step it up here on this series. You know, they really have bent but played pretty good in certain spots.
1st and 10. Handoff, inside handoff, hit right away. Colton Edwards, Nate Demarest in there on the stop as well. They blow the play dead.
That guy's got such a powerful run. He's still picking up 3-4 yards on every run, even after we hit him in line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's Everett Pitts, their middle linebacker, and they have him listed as a tight end, but they've lined him up as from a fullback. And, man, he's just a big boy to bring down.
Yeah.
So gain of about 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7. Scoreboard shows it 2nd and 6, so we're kind of splitting the hairs, I guess. Right under center again. He's back to pass on a play action. Caught, complete, out near midfield. Inside line territory. Pass is complete to number 6, Bryce Fagley, senior wide receiver. Charlie Donovan on the tackle, but that is enough for a first down.
That little intermediate pass and catch for those guys have been working all night. They're not really going deep. They're not really going short. They're just getting that intermediate 5 I'd call it 8-yard pass across the middle there.
Yeah, it's like they've kind of found that seam right between either the linebackers and the cornerbacks or the safeties, and they've been very effective in exploiting that tonight. And it's only about a 6 or 7 yard pass, but after the run, it results in about a 12 or 13 yard gain. Again, under center. We'll pitch out to the side, around the right side. Good stop there by the Lions front. Gain of about 2 on the play. Colton Edwards out there with several other Lions in pursuit. Ball gets spotted at the 46-yard line. Clock running.
Really need to stop here.
Yep.
I hate to state the obvious, but yeah.
Clock running, 10 minutes left in the game, tied at 21. The very limited playlist by the Lake Country sound guy. We've got the Imperial March playing.
Yeah. Why on
almost
offense?
almost on repeat.
Well, why on offense? So that doesn't seem.
I don't know. Inside handoff to
Pitts. Got to be Pitts.
Yep, Pitts again. It is. Just a big boy.
He picks up 3 yards just falling over.
So he's going to bring up a key third down play here. You kind of wonder here, Jack, are they in no man's land or are they in 4 down territory? Would they keep going? Would they go for it?
Well, third and short's a lot different than 3rd and 10 the way we had it, but they are in the same area.
It's true. 3rd down and 3. Ball at the Lions 41-yard line. Again, we're tied at 21. 9 minutes left in the game with the clock running. It's a handoff right up the middle. Big stop. Ball is loose. I'm not sure. Looks like the Lions may have got it. They're signaling that they have the football. The Lions have the football. Austin Odette came up with the football, and the referee is signaling it for the Eagles. I guess they're signaling he was down on the ground already? I thought when you recovered a fumble, it was your ball. All right. Well, big 4th down play here for your Lions defense. Fans are on their feet. Cowbells are going. 4th down and 2. They've got to get to the 37.5-yard line.
Are they going to give it a pitch?
Oh, ball's down. There's a penalty flag or whistle's blown. Let's see.
Timeout.
Timeout by the Eagles. Boy, they avoided disaster there because that ball hit the turf.
Yeah, that's Lake Country's 2nd timeout of the half.
Yeah, they've got 1 left, so we'll see if that ends up playing a factor or not. The wind is the flag that was blowing.
Yeah.
It wasn't standing on end, but it was definitely a good breeze. There's a slight little, it's a beautiful, perfect night for football here in Texas, but the wind is completely, pretty much dissipated. It's not really a factor kicking a field goal from either end. So, folks, we'll make sure we give plenty of appreciation and love to our sponsors. Our Platinum sponsors, Chick-fil-A Southlake, TJ and Tennille St. Romain. Thank you to the St. Romain family and Chick-fil-A Southlake and Victory Church. Victory Church meets at Grapevine Faith High School on Saturdays at 4 and Sundays at 10 a.m. Thank you to our all-school sponsor, Reliant Air Conditioning and the Stewart family.
Waterview Marinas, don't forget about those guys. Oh.
A little unsolicited plug there by.
What? I like the marina. It's a very nice marina.
Oh, yeah. They're the friends at Waterview. Yeah. All right. Big play here on 4th down. 4th down and a little more than a yard to gain. Right under center. Pitch to the right. It's a pass. He's got a man that's. Oh, great play. Oh, my gosh. Great play by Noah Smith to knock the ball loose. After it touched the receiver's hands, Noah Smith knocked it loose, and then flags came flying in. I have no idea what this penalty is. There's no way it's pass interference because he hit him after the ball hit the guy's hands.
It almost looked like it was hit him in the helmet.
Man, this is. Yeah, they're going to call pass interference against the Lions. Wow. Wow. Man, I'm having deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra would say. It feels like last Friday night. Jack, you're going to pull it up. You're watching. You pull the broadcast up. You're gonna watch it on your phone just to see. Let me know what you see there.
I will.
Well, it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles. No matter what we like or don't like, there's a run right up the middle. Still on his feet. Finally taken down inside the 10-yard line. It's gonna be 1st and goal for the Eagles. Huge penalty.
That run's good for a Lake Country Eagles. First down.
Well, I feel like I'm going to rave again. This guy tonight is giving the guy last week a run for his money for just awful. A handoff. Good time. Oh, slips away from Cannon Hunter. Ball is on the ground, and they're going to call it down again. Noah Smith comes up with a football, and again they're going to call it down. Wow. Jack, I'm trying not to be that guy, man, but I'm telling you, dude, this is just, it's hard to watch.
Oh, that was a bad pass interference call. It hit his hands and bounced off.
1st and goal on the 1. Eagles are in for the touchdown. No flags on the play.
Boy, they're going to have to get a fire in their belly for the last 7:09 in this game, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it pretty factual right here, folks. It's 27-21 Eagles. 7 minutes, 9 seconds left in the game. Extra point attempt is up and good.
Because he did not turn around, it kind of looked like pass interference. But after looking at the video, it hit his hands, bounced off, and then Noah hit him. So it looks like a bad call.
Well,
but by the way, you can't put yourself in that position, right? I mean, you got to know that kind of play is going to come on 4th down if they're going to go for it. If you're going to throw the ball on 4th down, you better be in position.
Well, the Eagles, to their credit, have run the ball very effectively. And so when that little pitch to the outside, everybody gives pursuit like it's going to be a run and play. And they had a little halfback pass. And with a few extra men on the field, they it's hard to defend 16 guys, Shaq.
Whoa.
11's hard enough.
Whoa.
All right, I said it. I'm sticking by it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, good thing, folks, if you guys are watching the broadcast, you too can rewind and give us your thoughts if you want. It doesn't change a thing, but it's good for discussion. little friendly discussion here. Yeah, the Lions sideline, man, just the wind taking out of their sails over here in both the bench as well as the stands. Just super frustrating. Like every time you turn around, once you think you get a stop, there's a penalty flag down. Lions had the ball 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. That got called back on a holding call. And then on the ensuing drive by the Eagles, multiple penalties. Anyway, two fumbles that we thought. I'd be curious to know on the fumbles too. If the fumbles that we saw, if we thought were fumbles, if those were really fumbles or if they're little extracurricular activity. Some big hits there.
Poor Sterling. That dude weighs about 110 pounds. Just got bowled over.
Yep. There's a few folks that might be listening that probably have some strong opinions about a couple of the hits that the Eagles have put on players this year, but I'll leave it at that.
Whoa.
32-yard line.
Okay. We're starting all over again, Steve.
Yeah, I'm shooting from the hip here. All right, so 28-21. Coach Smeltzer, sorry about that. Brandon Smeltzer has to score. 28-21, Eagles leading. Lions have the ball here with 7 minutes, 9 seconds left. So they have 2 timeouts left. Snap back to Cosby. Rolls to his right. Pass downfield. Caught. Complete.
Nice passing catch
to
there,
Charlie
Steve.
Bunch. Rick and Pam Jensen watching and listening from Richardson, Texas. Jensen's grandparents. Austin's Aunt Dee Dee and Uncle Ralph watching from St. Joe. Austin Cosby, a lot of family listening. Love having you guys on here on the broadcast.
St. Joe has an extreme hatred for Munster.
Oh, is that right?
Munster beat Lake Country earlier in the season.
1st and 10 for the Lions. Noah Smith in motion. Little handoff to Jace Walker up the middle after the fake to Noah coming around the end. Drives forward for maybe a yard. Clock running, 6 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. Lions trailing 28-21.
Tackle made by number 7, Turin Farm. 2nd down, 9.
Chase Walker in the backfield with Austin. Lions get a play in from Coach Ware on the sideline. Thomas Hudnall, injured kicker, helping out with the communication of the plays. Play action, pass to the far side, caught by Walker Little.
Nice move
inside the 45-yard line.
Little swim move by Walker Little there.
Yeah, it was a nice move there. It's going to be enough for a Lions first down. So nice little run there by catch and pass there from Cosby to Walker Little, and he did a little bit more extra on his own.
First down Lions.
So first down for the Lions here on a nice drive. Lions have had just some heartbreaking losses this year. And, man, a big win last week against Atlas. You'd sure like to see them pull this one out, Jack.
Yeah, last week seemed like a pretty good ball game for the Lions.
Penalty flag down. It's going to be an offsides. Looking deep for Charlie Donovan. No flag there. No flag there. I think it's got to hit the receiver's hands first, and then when you hit him, then they call pass interference, Jack.
Well, said it earlier. I think those guys kind of take it off once they see that the penalty flag is there. So it's almost like they
take the play off. Yeah. Free play for the Lions here. Offside against the Eagles on the hard count. Worked effectively for the Lions this year, like you said, Jack. Surprised that they haven't scouted that.
I mean, they scouted for the last 6 years. They should be.
Clock stopped momentarily, and then they'll wind it up 5.5. Oh, sorry, it'll stop. Start on the snap after that incomplete pass. 5.5 minutes left in the game. Lions trailing 28-21. Walker Little still in the backfield next to Austin. They move Jace into the slot position. Tap back, hand off to Walker. Starts up the middle, cuts it back towards the middle of the field. To his left, taken down. Big run on first down. That's going to move the chains again. We've got a couple of Eagles down. One guy slow to get up. His helmet came off. Looks like they may have hit helmets. They've got another one on the ground, Jack.
Official timeout.
So again, 5 minutes, 26 seconds left in the game. Lions trailing 28-21.
You know, putting Walker back in that backfield kind of gives that offense a different look in the running game. A little more power.
Yeah. Well, it gives you a different look in the backfield with the running game. It gives you a different look on the passing game because you get Jace in the slot, who's a threat there as well.
Yeah.
They've thrown a couple little kind of slot screens to him. You could bring him around as an end around, like a jet sweep. A lot of options for him. Love seeing Christian Corley in the sideline there, helping out with hydration and just still being a big part of the game. I know he's talking to the guys as they come off the field. First and 10 for the Lions at the 26-yard line. Got single coverage here on the outside with Charlie Bunch. See what they decide to do here.
Yeah.
Need to get the ball off. 2 seconds left on the play clock. They just do get it off. Pass here to the near side of Charlie on the screen. Tries to fight through a couple of defenders. He's wrestled down. Gain of about 2 on the play.
Well, that looks like an odd spot. I got about 4 yards on that one, Steve.
Taking down to the 22-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot at the 22, so yeah. They're calling it a gain of 3. So 2nd and 7. Ball at the 23-yard line, I guess. Cosby looking to pass. Oh, a little blitz. Right, little screen to Walker Little in the middle. Spins around a couple of guys, drives a couple of guys downfield. They call his forward progress, and stop him at the 16-yard line.
Yep, gonna move the chains.
I've lost count of how many times that the Lions have been in the red zone, but that is a red zone opportunity for the Lions. And if the Lions in the red zone, that means it's only one thing: the Reliant Air red zone. If your house is in the red zone because your HVAC system is on the fritz, call Reliant Air Conditioning today at 877-YOUR-HERO. First and 10 for the Lions. Ball at the 16-yard line of the Eagles. Again, the Lions trailing 28-21. 4 minutes left in the game. Clock running. Pass by Cosby. Intercepted. Still on his feet. Finally taken down at about the 30-yard line. Oof.
I saw what he saw.
Braden Burns on the interception.
Just kind of closed that gap so fast on that safety.
Kind of baited him into it a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, just a touch. I was just about to say that Cosby's been having he's had a pretty good time in that backfield trying to find his receivers. Probably just didn't look off that safety.
Well, not the results of that series that the Lions were looking for. There's an injured. That's Pitts. He's slow to get off the field for the Eagles. He's going to come off for a play.
Yeah, I think our players are going to be happy not to see him on this first down.
Now he's down on his knee. Something happened there. He got hurt on that play on the run back. Yeah, the interception.
That's just a momentum killer. A nice little drive we had going.
Yeah, Lions started. Where'd they start that drive, Jack? You have that by chance?
I do, sure do, Steve. Hang on. We started at our 33.
33. So yeah, they had a nice drive down the field, and we're inside the red zone. Ball at 16, and interception turns the ball over. Again, the Eagles leading 28-21. They have one timeout. Your Lions have two. 3 minutes, 56 seconds left here in the game.
Sorry, that's mine. Sorry.
And they get Pitts up.
I just think you can't throw it out yet. Put my trash down there. Even. Poor man was picking up my trash down there.
Good
Sorry
job,
about that.
Jack. Way to go.
Well, there was not a whole lot of room.
Well, they're playing the Jeopardy theme song. I don't understand half of the stuff that's been played tonight. But anyway, I digress. 28-21, Eagles leading. Right under center. Defense needs a big stop. Pitch out to the right. Still on his feet. Finally dragged down. Good tackle there made by Tyler Brown. Junior linebacker, or cornerback, excuse me. Safety even, sorry. Gain of 2 on the play, so it brings up 2nd down and 8. Clock running, 3.5 minutes left in the game. And again, your Lions trailing 28-21. The Eagles don't seem like too big of a hurry to get this play in, Jack. There's only 10 seconds left here on the play clock, so they rush to the line of scrimmage. Inside of 5 here. They just get the play off with 1 second. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure he got any. He may have even lost a little bit of yardage on that one. It's going to bring up 3rd down. I think the Eagles are going to be content probably to run the football, Jack, so they don't have to stop the clock with an incomplete pass.
Tackle made by number 22, Walker Little.
Timeout. Faith. They use their 2nd timeout.
Lions going to stop the clock and talk it over on a big 3rd down play. Well, if you hold them here, you force them to punt, and that would be a good thing to happen. Next week, Lions back at home, hosting their first district game of the season against Fort Worth All Saints.
I'll need to bring a cup of coffee for that one.
Oh, man, that is going to be a tall order for the Lions, one of the top teams in the state of Texas in taps. They were the first-round playoff opponent for the Lions last year, and now they're in the same district. So I'm not sure how they didn't move up with Liberty. That one kind of threw me, but apparently their enrollment didn't require them to. Coach Beck over there, really, really good dude. Hopefully have a chance to visit with him. He's always gracious with his time and gives great insight and really appreciates broadcasting high school football and what we're trying to do. And so thankful for Coach Beck and look forward to talking to him sometime this next week. But first things first, Lions need to get the ball back and go down and score. Trailing 28-21, 2 minutes, 52 seconds left here in the game. Big 3rd down play. They're looking to pass. Pass here to the near side, complete to Pitts. He gets the first down.
All right, dude, move on. What a
he gets the first down. Yep, he stands right on the Lions sideline. It points for a first down. No penalty flag on that. You can do that.
Well, I was going to say that should have been a penalty, but the problem was he's behind everybody on the bench.
Nope.
His mother is not proud, I bet.
It's only a penalty if it hits the receiver's hands first, and then we knock it loose.
Whoa. Here we go.
All right. Well, he did run out of bounds to stop the clock, but that was the first down.
odd play call, I would say, but it worked.
It was kind of like school on Saturday there, Jack. No class. All right. They're going to keep it on the ground here. Little inside handoff trap play. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. They call us forward progress. Stop it.
We used our last timeout there.
Timeout there to stop the clock. The Lions use their last one. Yep. Austin Odette was slow to get up, but he's okay. Well, Austin's been a nice addition this year. He's a new transfer in, and big kid on that defensive line. He's really made his presence known. Some big sacks. Nice job tackling the running back. I'm going to say I think he's one of their top, defensively one of their top tacklers. I was looking at that this morning. Yeah, 18 tackles on the season for Austin. Who do you think has the most tackles, Jack? If I ask you who has the most tackles for the Lions this year, who would you say? He's thinking, folks. He hasn't left us.
Man, that's a tough one. Man,
you might get the first. You won't get the second one.
Huh?
I don't think.
It's not Odette?
Nope.
Well, the way you're asking, it's going to have to be like a safety. Christian Corley?
No, your leading tackler is Jace Walker. Sophomore linebacker with 38. Coming into tonight's game. Game. Who's number 2?
Christian Corley?
No, that'd be junior Tyler Brown.
Wow.
Yeah. But definitely. Christian, you mentioned some others. Christian, obviously Corbin Irwin, Austin, multiple guys contributing on the defensive side of the ball. 2nd down and 9.
Oh, my God.
Right look at the pass. Ball's incomplete.
Wow, thank you, Coach Whites. We really appreciate that.
Hang on, waiting to see if there's a flag that's going to come down.
That's not.
Still waiting.
I bet there's a scratching of heads of many fans on the Lake Country side going, why did we call that play? Yep. I mean, if you're going to do that, call it on 3rd down. Not, I would have run the ball coming out of the timeout, just get the clock running again.
Still no flag.
Okay,
I've been waiting.
All right, Steve. Okay.
Yeah, Stephanie Cates, your comment is well made. It definitely feels that way. All right, stop clock. The clock stopped, excuse me. Big 3rd down play here. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left. Lions trailing 28-21. You're right, Jack. The Lions are out of timeouts. I'm not sure why you didn't keep the.
Oh, and now they've used their last timeout.
The Eagles used their last timeout as a play clock is running down.
This is the Les Miles clock management school.
It's been poor clock management tonight for sure. Yeah, you wonder why they threw the ball there on 2nd down to stop the with the incomplete pass like it was. It stops the clock, and the Lions are out of timeouts.
Yeah, you could have run another 40 seconds off the clock. Well, yeah, it would have been a 40-second play clock, right?
25.
25. So another 25 seconds, you would have been under 2 minutes with the clock still rolling.
Well, then if you ran
the ball again.
Yep, and then you punt on 4th down like.
Jeez, that's another minute and a half that would have come off the clock
there. You put the Lions with less than a minute left, somewhere probably deep in their own territory with no timeouts. They've got to drive the length of the field. So
you're going to give the ball back to Grapevine Faith with probably just at about a minute and a half left, just a touch over that. I'm just guessing, depending on if they get a stop here.
Jack, you know what I love to see? I love to see us get the ball back.
With a fumble,
we get a touchdown. And we go for 2 to win this thing.
Why not us, Steve? Why not us?
All right, big 3rd down play here. 3rd and 10 for the Eagles.
Play clock hasn't started yet. What are we doing here? Start the clock.
Yep, they just started it. Right under center. Lions showing blitz. Handoff up the middle. Pitts has enough for the first down.
Gracious.
Drives it forward.
You knew what he was going to do. He was going to gut you up the middle.
That's going to stop the clock momentarily, but that's going to do it. Lions are out of timeouts.
They didn't worry about the 2nd down play because they knew they could do that on 3rd down, I guess. I don't know.
That'll move the chains. Well, not the complete game that the Lions had last week. Really, all phases of the game. Their special teams was solid.
I heard
defensively, they made some big plays. Offensively, they made plays when they needed to, and just hadn't happened tonight, Jack.
Yeah, and I heard Brooks talking about it. They're trying to close that gap in the second half, trying to get fired up for the second half as they are in the first half. But tonight seemed a little bit of the same story.
Right on the carry, and just takes a slide to keep the clock running. Well, it doesn't get any easier for the Lions with their first district game, as I mentioned, next Friday night at home against Fort Worth All Saints. Following week against Southwest Christian is homecoming.
I mean, that interior line defensive play, that happened against Cistercian as well.
Man, they've exposed us there. Their running back has just been so hard to bring down.
He's a big kid.
He is a big kid. Yeah, I mean they're using him to their advantage. I mean they're using his strengths, right? You got a big running back like a John Riggins type of running back. Just give him the ball and let him power up the middle.
Yep.
But definitely some things on film that Coach Holland will be looking at, obviously, to shore up on defense heading into that game against All Saints next week.
Goodness gracious.
It's the second game this year, I believe, that we'll have lost by 7 points. So they've lost 1 by 4, 1 by 6, and now 2 by 7 points. So if I did my math correctly on those. Wright takes a knee.
Not after Odette doesn't get in there and gets a shot.
Well, you don't know if they're going to pitch it out and have a halfback pass or what. But, well, folks, that's going to do it. Unfortunately, the Lions end up on the wrong side of this one. Final score 28-21. Thanks to Dax Davis for being on camera with us tonight. Again, next week, kickoff at 7 p.m. from Grapevine Ford Field in Grapevine, Texas. Your Lions hosting Fort Worth All Saints. For Jack Wharton, this is Steve Anthony saying so long. Thanks for joining us here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network.